All right, 6:02 in the Rose City. Time for Dirt and Sprague on Portland Sports Leader 105.1 The Fan and the Fan Sports Network. Hello. Happy Tuesday, everybody.
What is happening?
Good morning, Andy.
Hello, Brandon. How are you? We are the same.
What do you mean?
What are we talking about?
We're not wearing the same anything.
No, we're not wearing the same hat at all. We definitely did not wear the same
There's another droid you're looking for.
And today, and you're going to be the brave soul who lets his hair fly on YouTube all morning because you don't want to wear the same hat. We're just Timber P1s. What can we say?
I saw the hat. It was the quickest hat to grab. I'm like, he's going to wear this hat today. I know it.
It's one of the downsides when somebody brings us in hats because it's the only hat I believe that we have that's the same. Or no, our Sheep Ranch hat. We both have the Sheep Ranch hat.
I can't wear that one anymore. I don't know what it's from. The color is weird.
Starting to change a little bit.
I have a gold stain, and it happened like relatively quickly after we got back from that trip. So I don't wear it.
Can't clean it off. Can't get it off.
I've bleached it. I've washed it. I love that hat.
It's a good looking hat. I love that logo.
Wear it.
The Sheep Ranch logo with the sheep. What are what do they call those things? Hook, the staff. What do they carry around? What's the word I'm looking for?
Ooh.
What's that? You don't even know.
I know what you're talking about. No.
Yes,
you're talking about the shepherd carries a
herder.
big staff. I don't know if there's a particular
looks
name.
Looks like Gandalf out there. He's got it,
Yeah.
carrying it around. It's like a cane, big cane.
It's a crook.
A crook.
It's a shepherd's crook.
The sheep ranch and the crook logo. I mean, it's phenomenal. It's a good look.
It
I
is
love
a good
that
look.
hat.
Yeah.
I know we have those two the same. Other than that, I feel like that's all we got.
We have a Giants hat.
Do we have? Oh, Giants hat.
Yeah.
You have a Giants hat?
I have like 30 hats you've never seen. Because,
Really?
Yeah.
You got a San Francisco Giants hat in your closet?
I did.
Yeah.
I tell you this. I love the Braves. I used to also root for the Giants because I loved Barry Bonds.
I mean, who didn't love Barry Bonds?
And I just, I was a Niner fan, so I was like, this is kind of cool. They got a baseball team
Keep
too.
it natural in the stadium. They're playing in the same stadium.
I largely never really cared about the Giants because when I was a Braves fan, they were terrible.
Right.
They weren't really a threat, so it was like, oh, it's the lovable NL team who sucks.
They're not harming anybody.
But when I worked at Just Sports, I got like a 45% discount. So
You
I
start
bought
grabbing hats
I
left
have a
and right.
black and gold Dodger hat.
Okay. Yeah, you got a big hat
I
collection.
have a lot of hats.
You've held on to them all these years later because that was a long time ago.
It feels...
Because I used to have a lot more hats in my repertoire, and then as time went on, I'm like, I'm not going to wear that one ever again. I've slowly started to dwindle, although my hat collection is still pretty big.
Well, it's one thing to like have a really beaten down dad hat and get rid of it.
Right.
These are all fitted hats
that you never really
don't
wore.
really have a lot of wear and I have like a really cool kick-ass Trident Mariners hat that's blue and white.
Ooh.
Like I have all these random colorized hats. I don't wear any of them. One, because they don't fit me anymore.
No, your head shape has changed.
It's just an odd... I got a weird head. The size of fitted hats I have to wear is weird. It's between a 4th and an 8th. It's a really weird size.
They don't make a size for us.
They really don't.
What happened to the in-between sizes, man? Help me out here.
So I don't know what to do with them because I'm not also going to sell them.
Yeah, you don't sell them. Then you're just throwing them away or you're taking them to a Goodwill. And
they're sitting in a bag right now in my closet. I never open it.
Yeah, hold on to them. You never know if one of those becomes iconic. Maybe it becomes worth a lot of money 50 years from now when you're on your deathbed and you're selling a Trident Mariner hat because they got rid of that logo 40 years ago.
That item for me would be the Edgar Martinez bat lamp bobblehead night doll that I still
Tickle
have.
me intrigued. An Edgar Martinez bat lamp?
I went to an Angels game a few years back, and it just I didn't know at all it was happening. It was Edgar Martinez bat lamp.
He just happened to be there.
He's standing
Beautiful.
holding a bat, and it's a lamp, and it was bobblehead.
Perfect.
So I got one. I never opened it, and I'm like, what if this is worth something to me?
Right.
It's not.
No.
It's worth like $4 on
There you
eBay.
go.
Yeah, you're not going to get any money
I
out
might
of
as
it.
well just give it to a Mariner fan who would actually want it because I haven't put it out. It's still sitting in its box.
Got to admit, that's a pretty cool thing to grab as a freebie at a baseball game. I also love
Really
the
cool.
idea of being at a game where you're not a fan of the team, but it's the giveaway that night, and you're like, yeah, why not? I'll
Hell
take
yeah.
this. Dude, I'll take the Edgar Martinez bat lamp.
So that goes back to the Padre game I was at. I was in a conundrum. I wanted to get something to commemorate that I went to the game.
Right.
But I didn't want to get like overly obvious big Padre thing. Not that I hate the Padres. They
No.
kind of own my team right now. That's
Yeah.
frustrating. But so the night we went, you know what night it was? It was Filipino Padre night.
Ooh.
And they have the most kick-ass bomber Letterman style Filipino Padre jacket.
Ooh, I bet it's badass.
It's blue silky, so it's really shiny blue, like a royal
Wow.
blue. It's got the Filipino flag. It's got, I think it has an SD somewhere on the side. It's got another patch on it. Just looked awesome.
That's a good-looking jacket.
That sounded like a spendy
Are you
item.
Google
though.
imaging
I just Googled
I
image
know.
it. It is a good-looking jacket.
Everybody was wearing it. And I was
Yeah.
like, dude, I kind
Light
of
blue.
buy this. I think it was
Yeah.
$180.
Yeah, it's pretty spendy.
They sold a ton of them, dude.
That's pretty spendy. What's the most you're willing to spend on a jacket? Because I have that a lot, mainly just with like, you'll go down every like Saturday. I'm down in Eugene. We have to walk by from where we park to where we do the show from. There's a duck store that I walk by, and of course I'm always there early because you're worried about not getting there on time.
Oh, yeah.
And so I got like 40 minutes to kill, and so it's like, all right, let's go pop in here. And every day I look at every time I'm down there. And it's always like, man, that jacket is awesome, but it is $179.99, and I'm not willing to spend $180 on a jacket. I just can't do it.
So what's the price?
I don't know. I think if you get me down below $100, I'll at least listen and be intrigued by it. But then usually the quality of the jacket's not quite the same. Like they have this home field jacket that is basically think of a starter jacket from 1996.
Oh, yeah,
and
I've
it's
seen
that with the UO logo, and it's the green and yellow,
Yep.
and it's the coolest looking jacket I've ever seen. But it's a little puffy, so I question how often am I actually going to wear like a big puffy jacket?
Yeah.
Doesn't seem super convenient, and it's also $180.
Yeah, there's a Beaver one on that same website that I love. It's got the early 2000s, late 90s Benny.
Benny, the old school Benny.
I like that Benny. It
Yeah.
doesn't have to be like the 60s one. It can be that one.
That's a good looking Benny.
And it's like broken up into orange, black with a little white, and it's got the beavers on it. And I'm like, I like it.
Right.
I also it seems like it's a really loud jacket to wear.
You're going to be swishing around when you're
no,
walking.
like you're just going to see me every time and go, it's a big Beaver fan right there.
Look at that big beaver bird.
And I'm whatever, but it's just it's a little loud. I'm like, I'm going to wear that jacket like twice a year.
How often am I actually going to wear it?
It's a little too loud for I'm 40 years. I'm going to be 40 in December.
Yeah.
Now, 13-year-old me would have rocked the living hell out of that
wear
thing.
that thing everywhere you go.
40-year-old me is like,
It's a good call.
I wear it twice a year.
I bought a Niner one years ago that's very similar. It was basically we came out with starter jackets again. Buy the Niner one, and I bought the 49er one, and I have probably worn it less than 10 times.
Yeah. How much was it?
Expensive.
Just give me
not
the
180.
number.
It was 110 somewhere in there. I mean, it was
It's triple digits.
Yeah, triple digit jacket. It was so cool looking, but to your point, it's loud. It's white. It's puffy.
I don't mind loud clothes, but I have a hard time buying really expensive ones that I'm not going to wear very often.
I just don't also wear puffy jackets very often.
Yeah.
I'm an indoor cat, man.
That's fair.
I'm domesticated. I'm
That's
not
totally
outside.
fair.
House to car to work to car. In the wintertime, that's about it.
Well, let
I'm
me
not
ask you
living
this.
up on Timberline.
Would you rather buy a really throwback, kind of loud, cool ass Giants or Ducks jacket for $179, or would you rather buy sex for $140?
I mean, are there photos available before I book the sex?
Well, I assume there's a website.
It has to be a website,
Scan,
right?
You choose.
You could choose a person.
Darla.
Darla, can I have cinnamon?
Well, you got to go to a trailer park for that. So I don't know if that changes.
Well, can I ask you guys this real quick on the price point of stuff?
Has
You're
anybody ever been more desperate for sex in their life than Jed York was in East Palestine, Ohio?
Absolutely. Yes.
$140 hooker.
Didn't they find a dead person in Pompeii that was having sex with a bale of hay or something?
I don't know.
They were
Humping a bale of hay?
I think there was a really horny person in Pompeii when everything happened.
Just bumping and grinding on a hay bale?
I will not die before doing this one more time. Ready. I will feel this one more time.
One more time. A bale of hay.
I swear I could. I read that once. I'm like, hey, he went out. He went out.
Hey,
he went out bang. He went out with a bang.
There's worse ways to go out.
Oh, actually, I don't know.
Bale of hay, I've never tried the bale of hay before. I got to give that one a shot.
So here is my question to you. These jackets we're mentioning, once upon a time, these were $40 jackets.
Yeah.
Right? There was a reason I had a starter jacket.
Right.
You had other people had starter jackets.
Every kid had a starter jacket in our generation.
It was in a wheelhouse.
You had to, yes.
A wheelhouse. Even if you weren't rich, you could afford it. Now, they're like, yo, we know we're on to you. You like that we have the old school stuff.
It's $1.75.
Yeah, we're raising this to almost $2. Let's test your fandom.
You wanted for nostalgia purposes. It'll make you feel like a kid again.
So Swag would have to do the math. Whatever that $40 to $180 is in inflation rate increase, you have to admit, no matter the jokes you make, the fact that sex with a human is still $140 is kind of crazy from the inflation standpoint.
It's a hell of a deal.
I would have thought at a minimum that was $350.
I mean, you would assume,
unless
right?
he is scraping the bottom barrel of the industry.
I mean, I tend to believe if you're in a trailer park in East Palestine, Ohio, I think that's about as bottom of the barrel as you can get.
But did he know it was going to be a trailer park when he signed up?
Is there a lower portion of the barrel?
Did he come to the address and go, damn, a mobile ranch?
I mean, look, I myself have never paid for a hooker before, so
Me either.
I don't have experience in this category. However, if I ever got to that low point in life, I feel like there would be the thought of, can you trust $140? No. Especially if you're Jed York.
Yeah, Jed York should be going high
go
end,
get yourself a
minimum.
$10,000 girl for the night. What are we doing here?
10,000, yeah.
$140.
I don't know.
That's for like a construction worker down the road. Like I'm just trying to have some fun on my way home.
This is kind of my point. There's still
Like,
a really
what?
good price point for a lot of people that want to pay for sex.
That's great to know out there. People earning money, People have a way to scratch
I'm
the
not going to
rich.
hate on the sex work industry. That's what they want to do.
$140, $140.
If that's
man.
the agreement you come upon, $140 for that moment.
Right. Also, if you're extrapolating out the cost per minute, Jed York's not looking like he's, we're not going a long time here.
Oh, that's a $70
That's, you're
per
getting,
minute
I mean,
rate.
You're getting,
what are we talking about here?
That's over in 5 minutes.
Do you tip,
5
by
minutes
the way?
at the majority.
I mean, do you tip after? I know you tip, but do you tip when it's done?
Again, as somebody who's never done that before, I would care to guess that it would have to it would be based on the performance.
Can we find any single
if it's
listener that's been to a Vegas bunny ranch of some sort and told
And did you
us,
tip?
Did you tip?
I think a Vegas bunny ranch is going to cost you a lot more than $140.
Well, you don't tip on a dance. If you get an individual dance, you pay for that dance. Do you tip more?
No, the money. No, I don't think so. I've
For
never
a private dance.
I've never tipped on a private dance before.
I've had one private dance my whole life, and she bailed halfway through the song. I got absolutely robbed.
You're not getting a tip.
That was my bachelor party.
I want my money back.
It was also really uncomfortable.
It's very weird.
It's it's not a judgy thing. It was just
lap dances make me feel very uncomfortable.
I'm celebrating about to marry my best friend. And there's a naked girl here, and it was weird.
Candy's doing work.
Yeah,
The body, it's rolling, it's rolling.
I'm in love with it. It's like I'm kind of looking away, I'm not.
Please
I'm
welcome Cinnamon to the main stage. Cinnamon!
Dude, I'm not kidding. If you could have recorded my face in that booth, you would have been like, "Did she fart?" Because I was like. That's weird.
This is weird.
And
Did
then she
steak?
bailed, and I was like, "You
Where are
kind
the
of just
steak
robbed
bites
me."
at?
Hey, give me 20 of that 80 back. Give me how much some money back over here. All right?
Song's not over yet.
Yeah.
I'm not kidding. I think we were at that club for maybe less than 10 minutes. Like, my buddy was like, "Dude, I just got my drink." And I'm
Come
like, "I
on,
don't want to
man.
be here anymore. It's
Yeah,
weird."
let's go do something else.
We had a good night,
Yeah, you had
but,
fun overall.
Yeah. That was just a really odd position to be in. I was like, this is kind of odd.
Well, I think getting arrested in a trafficking ring probably leads to no tip in that scenario. But had she performed well and everything gone smoothly for Jed York, I'd imagine he'd tip, give $20 on top.
$20?
I mean, it was only $140. $20 on $140. That's not that bad of a percentage.
Jed York strikes me as he has a minimum of hundos in a
He
roll.
doesn't carry 20s.
Yeah, I don't think he has 20.
No 50s? No 50s for Jed York?
You know what Jed does?
He's gotta have a
got
50
all
in there.
hundreds with a $1 on the outside of the
Yeah,
band.
throw them up.
As
I
if
got
we
another.
think that's all $1 bills.
I have no money. What are you talking about? They have ones with hundreds underneath. One of the craziest stories in the NFL in a while. Absolutely hilarious.
It's actually funnier than Robert Kraft's.
Without a doubt.
Somehow,
yes.
Robert Kraft has been kind of like...
Massage parlor, rub and tug. Like,
totally
we can
get
picture
it.
it. Like, okay.
Very
all right.
relaxing. It
Dude,
smells great.
people were
the oils they use.
I didn't
a
realize
trailer park.
and it's like a 30-minute drive from where his family lives.
I have to ask this question.
So
out
he
loud.
went 30 minutes out of his way to a trailer park.
And not one time during that drive did he go, "This is a big mistake. I
the whole
shouldn't do
time.
this."
What do you think he was saying the whole time to himself?
Oh, I'm so horny.
Oh, yeah, Jed, you bad boy.
Jed, you deserve
You
this.
naughty boy,
You're
Jed.
the owner of the Niners.
You can't hold me down. I'm a peacock, Captain.
I mean, was he listening to music? Was he listening to like an NFL podcast? Third in the division.
What's his pump up music beforehand? Yes. This is cruising down on Ohio Highway.
I think he pulls a Mr. and
Cindy,
Mrs.
I'm
Dirt.
coming for ya.
I think he's singing "Waiting all Night."
Waiting all day for
For
a
a
hooker
Yeah,
tonight.
I think that's what he's doing.
All right, it's time to drive to East Palestine.
Although if Jed truly was I think me and Jed York are roughly the same age, so he grew up with the team being
God, he's
amazing.
sub 40.
This probably gave him the hardest of chubs.
He's 46.
Yeah, dude, this is the wheelhouse of Niner dominance.
Yeah, this takes you to a place where they were
This is-
winning.
Oh, my uncle, Super Bowl trophies.
Listen to Pat Summerall calls John Madden. Boom, boom.
Yeah, that's
Tough acting, ton acting.
I tell you, man, my team's either going to way overperform or this whole season's a disaster already.
How long until he blames the substation on messing with his brainwaves, and that's what sent him to get a hooker in East Palestine?
Did you see the release?
I mean, it's the facility. It's right there. It's messing with my
the
head.
press release. this legal matter has been resolved. We will not be commenting at this time. And it's like, you usually say you don't comment when it hasn't been resolved.
Yeah, it's been resolved.
You idiots.
He's the owner of the team.
Yeah.
Care to comment, San Francisco?
It's one of those, like, I'm a fan of the team, and even I think this is hilarious. I hope people are
yeah.
dunking all over this.
He's 46 years old, by the way. I did not know that he had just gotten divorced a couple of months ago.
Oh, I did not know. That did not pop up in my research yesterday.
That was one of the things I saw on Reddit yesterday, that a couple of months ago, the sleuths found out that he got divorced. And so he's, Jed's in a desperate spot right now, clearly, if that's the move you're making.
There was a bunch of, these, what's the guy that does the SEC coach imitations? Joey something, right? It's
Molinaro or something. Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
So you got a bunch of those people out there that they make really good content. I don't remember all their names, and not meant in a disrespectful way. There was one of a guy putting a Niner hat on. And he goes, Kyle Shanahan after tomorrow's practice. Answering questions. Like, well, nobody got hurt.
I mean,
it's good practice today.
Everybody's
good practice.
We're getting ready for the Rams in Australia. We can't wait. Will Jed be there? No, he will not be there.
I feel for the guy getting divorced. That's got to be tough on everybody involved. But
does that make the story better?
Look,
he didn't technically cheat on his wife. They're divorced because that was a part of it. At least at first.
It's just like, how did you get to that point?
Story matter.
A trailer park in East Palestine?
I mean, I don't know. I've never been that down low before.
I haven't either. I'm not trying to
Never been to that spot.
It's objectively hilarious.
He's 46. He's 5'8", balding, little heavyset. Come on, man.
But he's the owner of an NFL franchise.
Let the guy go get some strange in East Palestine.
That guy in North Portland, you feel sorry for.
You know what they call it? They call that boost in the local economy. That's what they call that.
Yeah.
People helping people. It's a beautiful thing.
Absolutely. Those lot spaces are not cheap anymore.
No, exactly.
My mom's space is like $900 a month.
She got to pay for that land underneath the RV.
Absolutely.
The trailer.
You don't just have a mortgage. You got a lot space.
They're not giving that to you for free. It's expensive.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. All right, well, we got a good show today.
It's a hell of a newsy day yesterday.
Go.
I get home and I'm like, oh, okay. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
We got news popping up left and right.
I didn't think anything would be worse than finding out the owner was in a trailer park for some sex and then Shaden Sharp's knee popped. And I went, cool. That's our $140 East Palestine.
Is that a bad contract now?
I mean, you could argue it already was.
Yeah.
There was nothing.
Hadn't technically kicked in yet. Now it's kicking in, right? When it kicks in.
My brother-in-law calls me. He goes, do you think we could trade him to And I'm like, who? Why? Why would you want him?
We'll see you in March, buddy. Shaden Sharp and March Madness. Coming to you.
Coincidentally, never played in college.
I'm really glad that we have all those guards all of a sudden.
I mean, we can talk about, we'll get to it today.
Tom Dunn and Joe Cronin, evil geniuses. One of these guys is definitely getting hurt. We're not trading one. Have you seen the durability of our guards? Scoot can't stay healthy. Day missed last year. Joe hasn't played more than 30 games in a decade.
6 weeks last year.
Drew missed 6 weeks. Who am I missing?
Denny got hurt, too.
Denny got hurt with a back injury. Dude, we're not trading anybody away, man.
We got to keep everybody.
These guys are going to fold.
Yeah, not good news yesterday, depending on your fandom, and it hit us. $140, this should be the poll question. $140 for sex, is that about what you thought it'd cost, or is that less than you thought, more than you thought?
I'll put that poll question up.
We'll put that poll question up. We got a loaded show today. There's a lot to get to. We roll on with the dirty poll. The mail sack, it's a Tuesday, 503-864-6326. Let's get it going next. Dirt and Sprague, 105.1, The Fan.
update on the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
First on the Fan, Mike and Nori's minutes distribution dilemma in the Blazer backcourt lessened a bit with the unfortunate news Monday. Shaedon Sharpe has torn meniscus in his right knee. He'll need surgery and is expected to be out of action for 6 months, according to Shams Charania. Portland opens training camp 5 weeks from today. Oregon State has declared Mercer transfer Braden Atkinson their starting quarterback as the Beavers begin the season at Houston September 5th. The Jerry Rice Award winner last season threw for nearly 3,600 yards and 34 touchdowns for the Bears. Cal Raleigh's first career 3-run home run game ended Phillies' 9-game winning streak, leading the Mariners to a 9-2 victory. Game 2 of that series coming up tonight, 6:40 first pitch. Aaron Nola and George Kirby, your scheduled starters. Portland Fire on the road in Dallas facing the Wings tonight over on 910 ESPN Portland. 5 o'clock tip, pregame coverage at 4:45. Dallas, an 8.5-point favorite. I'm Jason Swigard from the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk. Don't call your mom. Call George McCoy at warrenallen.com.
This is the Fan.
All right, welcome back in. The poll question is up this morning.
Are you surprised you can still buy sex for $140 in the year 2026?
I honestly thought that was a $2 transaction, but I guess depends on the level. So to Jed York's point, it's the right level for him financially.
It's the Winco of adult entertainment. There's got to be a cheap option. There's got to be an affordable. It's the dollar store. There have to be affordable places that you can go. We have different economies right now, okay? Also, my favorite text of the day, and I'm not going to read the name, although know that we love you. One of our P1s texted in, shoot, $140? I'd pay that to my wife to have sex with her right now.
Good Lord.
We are off to an awesome start today.
It's 6:20 a.m. What are we doing?
The kids aren't awake yet. It's all right. We get a little blue in the 6 a.m. hour.
Yeah, I
and a
guess.
good point from Harley. This is a program that used to be one that didn't kink shame. No kink shaming
There's
here.
no kink
No
shaming.
kink shaming here.
I didn't think there was any kink shaming going on in that segment.
You
I
do
thought
you,
we
Jed.
were.
You do you, Jed.
Somebody was like, surely South Park has to do an episode on this, right?
Without a doubt.
Yes. Somebody has to make note or light of this in the comedy space.
What car is he driving to that trailer park to? Because you know it's not. He's not driving a 1997 Honda Civic.
Yeah, but you can't roll in with like a Bentley.
Does he have other cars other than that?
Well, it's a rental car.
Ah.
It has to be a rental car.
What do we think he's renting? He's Jed York. He's not signing off on some.
It has to be like a really nice BMW or Benz SUV, like
Would be my guess.
a smaller SUV, not like a really big loaded one.
He's heading home. His family just left him. He's just,
That's tough, man.
back in his old stomping grounds.
I jokingly asked you yesterday, what would I say on the air if you got busted? But like, I don't even know what I'd say to you.
Like personally, if I got
Like, if
caught
I
doing
saw
it,
you for the first time, if you saw somebody you knew for the
you have
first
to
time.
just joke about it. You have to. Like, dude, what the hell was that?
You know me. I'm pretty good-natured. I
Yeah.
like to make fun of myself. I like to joke. I don't know if you would know what to say to me if I got busted in a prostitution sting.
I would just, if you walked into the studio after the first show afterwards, I would probably just look at you and start laughing, to be honest with you. Because I find it hilarious.
You think John Lynch is rolling into that office
Dude,
laughing?
Without a doubt, they're making fun of him.
Swag.
Jed, what the hell is the matter with you,
What
dude?
would you say to me if I rolled in after being busted for a prostitution sting?
I have no idea.
We'd just have awkward silence for a minute. We'd make eye contact, and then I would start giggling, probably.
I'd probably start giggling.
You would, too.
I can't, dude.
Dude, give me the details, man. And I need them now.
It was Tuesday. I was so horny.
My wife left me. I had no other choices.
I'd probably just kind of anything you're going to say.
You care to...
I feel like you
The
Swag.
floor is yours.
He would tee it up to try to laugh. You would walk in because I'd get here before him, and you'd
Take
go,
that sip of coffee.
how we doing? Any audio? No, thankfully they haven't released that yet.
No, the police call
But
has
when
not
it
been
comes
released.
out, could you pull it? Because we need to laugh about it.
The best...
I'm crying like a little bitch on the bed.
Let me go. I didn't know.
God, Jed York. I can't believe this happened to my team.
If we get body camera footage of this is going to be one of the funniest arrest videos of all time.
Ease the pain of a triple backdoor.
Yeah. Coming into work.
If we get some cop walking into a trailer and Jed's like half naked and that's the body cam footage, it's going to go triple platinum.
It's definitely going to go triple platinum.
It's not what it looks like.
I don't know if you could have drawn up a worse off-season start to a season than this.
See, this kind of one for me as
they've dealt with injuries already.
That's the stuff that matters.
They're super old.
This doesn't impact the team at all. It just makes you a punching bag.
Well, we'll get to that in the cafe. There's somebody that actually disagrees with this because what it does is it does create if Patrick or Danny or Isaac if one of them got busted for this,
yes,
what would we be talking about in the office?
We'd be laughing about it, to be honest with you.
Right.
Unless they lost their job. That's not funny.
Well, I wouldn't root for
I don't want people to
anybody.
lose their job.
No.
I don't want anybody to get fired. Then it wouldn't be funny. But if you did it and you got arrested, there was like a little mugshot of Patrick Harris soliciting and he's down in Woodburn over the weekend. Like, dude, Patrick, what are we doing, man? Come on now. We would laugh about it. That's where I don't know. I will get to the audio later, but I imagine inside that locker room they are making joke after joke after joke about this.
Well, also, how many of those guys are basically doing this, but at a higher end value point?
They're probably laughing.
You don't think
about
these
that.
athletes are flying into Dallas for a Cowboy game and hiring the hottest person on Instagram to stay at a hotel?
Yeah, it's a pretty regular thing in professional sports.
Buy them some clothes and a nice dinner, and there you go. Wham, bam, $5,000, man.
The talking points in the locker room are probably all, dude, trailer park, $140? What are we doing,
They
Jed?
probably expected higher end is
Yes!
what they would be talking about, right? That's what I would say.
Hire somebody for a weekend. It's going to cost you a lot of money.
Anyways, we'll move on from the Jed York story. I think we've exhausted it enough, at least at this moment. So we got dealt some bad news yesterday from our Blazer fandom perspective.
Yeah, you could say that.
And something else also came out that I really liked, but I'm really bummed to find out. So Rick Adelman passed away not that long ago.
Yes, he did. We talked about it when it happened.
A Blazer legend. And the team is going to wear a throwback Adelman Blazer print. Like, think mid-early 90s Blazer print.
It's an awesome patch on the shoulder.
And it just says Adelman, and it's going to be near the shoulder, right on the collarbone area, and it's going to be on the jersey all season. They'll have a special night in, I think, November, if I'm not mistaken.
I believe so, yes.
To commemorate Rick Adelman. And that's an awesome thing for them to do. I don't know if I'm 100% on this, if it's like true 100%, but what I would say is I think it was Holdall. If it's not, I apologize to Casey Holdall.
Don't quote me on this.
But I thought I saw from Holdall that he was like, dude, if there was ever a time to finally bust out these as your City Connects.
What are we doing here?
With the patch. And he goes, I don't believe they are going to do it. They already have decided. And it's going to be one of it might be the Oregon City Connect jersey again. And we already got bad news with Shaden Sharp, which we'll talk about in the 8 o'clock hour.
Yeah, would have been a nice palate cleanser today.
But, that would have been something to say, hey, this was bad news, but hey, this is some good, counterbalance this year a little bit.
Hey, look at that. We have white keys back, and we got the 1994 Blazer jerseys we're rocking this year.
Well, I love that they're going to give him the love because he deserves it. He was a great coach for us, took us to finals. But
it's also going to piss me off all year because I'm going to see the cool font with the not that it's bad font, but it's not the same. It doesn't hit the same.
How do you not just step in and say, we need to make this the thing this year?
Yeah, it's frustrating. I don't understand why they don't have somebody behind the scenes who can realize so many people in this city want one thing and one thing only. And that's a City Connect jersey.
A title?
Well, but let's also be realistic
here. A great three?
let's be realistic here, okay? Those are out of our control.
3-point shooting?
You know what all it takes to get a cool jersey is just somebody behind the scenes that goes, you know what we should do? How about we throw it back? You just need one person in the meeting room. Half of the teams in the NBA at this point are doing that as their City Connect jerseys. And every single time I see them, they're awesome on TV. And I guarantee you, in every market that they're doing them, they're selling like hotcakes. And our
this one would sell out.
Big brain idea behind the scenes is let's do non-team colors and have Oregon on it, or let's do PDX carpet jerseys,
which is also non-team color
with a floor that doesn't match, and it's the dumbest looking thing in the NBA.
Well, there's no room for an extra floor.
No, we don't. We just put a fire floor in there.
$4 billion franchise can't afford an office big enough to hold.
No, God forbid.
NBA flooring broken up into tiles.
Jody spares no expense, but it's going to piss me off all year because you're going to see the home jerseys. I think they're doing it for obviously for all the jerseys.
Yeah.
And you're going to see the awesome font with
They
the
look
backdrop
sicker
of the
on
color.
black.
And it looks great. And then you're not going to get to be able to enjoy that as a jersey. I don't understand why this is so complicated.
You told me about the Shaden injury. I don't know if you know that, but when you text that, I
talked to about 10 GMs yesterday to confirm the news. I was just perusing around,
What'd
making
they say?
sure. They all confirmed it. My sources have confirmed that, yeah, indeed, a torn meniscus for Shaden Sharp.
I text 2 coaches in the Eastern Conference, and I said, what do you think this does for trade value?
Yeah.
And they responded pretty quickly and said, I don't think he's very tradable right now. They're going to need at least to see 20-plus games. So we're looking at probably next year's trade deadline as a potential launch point.
That's all right. We're good with kicking the can down the road.
And, I text them back, and I said, would your teams consider it? And they said, well, we're a pretty high-level contender, but I think we'd consider it. So bear that in mind in the future of potentially being traded.
What an absolute swift kick to the balls yesterday.
That sucked.
It's one thing
that
to
was such awful news.
An off-season injury, you never want them to happen. But let's say this: when did we stop playing in Portland? Was it end of April? When did our postseason run come to an end?
Oh yeah, I think
end of April,
yeah.
somewhere in there.
Yeah.
Let's just say this happens at the end of May. Right, and you get that news. It still sucks, but you're back sometime in the beginning of the year, and you got to recover and recoup from that.
Still would have been devastating.
It's the double whammy of it's the same thing that Scoot went through last year. It's at the end of the offseason.
This was a private workout, by the way, not a team.
When did they report for camp? How far away from that are we?
5 weeks from today.
5 weeks from today.
And most of them are actually already here.
They're just hanging out, working
out.
out.
Facility, scrimmaging and practicing and working. This was individual work, and he just tore his meniscus.
And now you're going to be without one of your young players who was going into the first year of a $90 million contract extension, and he's not going to play until March.
Well, and that's the other part is, I might have, if you've listened to us, you may not agree with all the Blazer takes we have. Some people hate our Blazer takes, and that's okay. But
yeah.
I've pivoted off the baby Kobe thing. I think you kind of are what you are at this point, and he's a non-hyper-competitive athletic freak who is capable of having great nights but never going to consistently give it to you type player to me.
No.
I think you had a lot of people going into the season with the idea, new coach, hey, here we go, what did it be, year 5 for him, right? Year 5?
This is year 5, yeah.
All this, that I still think there was
crazy.
A decent amount of belief from a lot of the fan base, even if you think that's ridiculous. There was, and you'll still get some of those people that when he comes back at the end of next season or the beginning of next year, they're still he's gonna pop this year, year 6 year.
Right.
But
he's only 23 years old.
Yeah,
Give him
he's
time.
only 25.
Yeah.
There's still that opinion out there. That's devastating to every opinion about him.
Yeah.
No matter what side of the fence you sit on with Shaden Sharp. Just devastating news. I would assume you're going to go get a guy. You have to.
I know. That's why we got all the other guards on the roster. We're good.
Yeah. I don't know. I felt really awful for him, but also
I did too.
I didn't know how he was going to fit in the scheme of stuff. I was on with Richmond a couple weeks ago, and he was like, I think he gave me an over-under of minutes played, and I'm like,
He averaged last year 29 minutes a game.
Well, what he averaged look up the playoff numbers, because I bet you it's under 10.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
he played 4 minutes in one of those games.
He averaged, in the San Antonio series, 13 minutes a game.
That's
13 minutes a game. 10 points,
so he
9
averaged
points,
16
4, 8, 5.
less minutes than the regular season when they played in the playoffs.
Shot 27% from 3,
Yeah,
7 points per game. I mean, the season ended horribly for him, which made this year all the more compelling because was that a Tiago Splitter thing? Is that just a Shaden Sharp thing behind the scenes no matter who the coach is?
Yeah.
Because he had the similar stuff with Chauncey. Could Mike and Nori get more out of him? And now the saddest part about it for me is just simply that at some point a label is going to stick, and that label for him is he's not available. This has been the story of his entire career. And you're not going to play 82 games a year, 5-6 straight years in the NBA anymore. That's not the league that we live in anymore.
Yeah.
But he is now to the point where you look at him and you say, all right, year 1, 80 games. What happened the next year? 32. Hey, he bounced back 72 games. Look at that. Okay. Down to 50 last year. Mm-hmm. And now this year, if he's back at the end of February, March, how many games are we looking at?
I think you're lucky.
25.
25?
I think they're gonna
Right?
slow play that.
We did that with Scoot last year. It was like, he'll be back by Thanksgiving. He'll be back by Christmas. He'll be back by New Year. He'll be back by Valentine's Day.
Yep.
Like he's not going to be around till March. You're playing maybe 20 games this year if you're lucky. And so that'd be back-to-back years where he played 50 and 20 games. And so we can have people push back on that narrative all you want. He's not available regularly, and that is a problem.
I also find it very what I would add to that, because I think you nailed it, I'd also add, like, even when he's available, he's not very available.
No.
What Shaden do we have today?
Is he the good Shaden?
Is he play hard Shaden? Is
right.
he care Shaden? Or is he nonchalant Shaden? Like,
right.
Fair or unfair, that's just kind of the reality of what we've watched.
Glad we didn't trade that pick.
Well, you can make an argument. That's why you should have traded him this summer, because he played 5 minutes in a playoff game, and you somehow were like, yeah, let's keep rolling it back.
The value of those top 10 picks better than OG Anunoby.
Yeah, according to this franchise. We'll get into more of that in the 8 a.m. hour. There was somebody yesterday that gave a couple thoughts on the Trailblazers, and very interesting thoughts nonetheless. So we'll get to that coming up in the 8 a.m. hour. Cafe Day, Dirt and Sprague at the top of the hour. We're back with reliving the greatest moment of your life, but being pissed by it. I'll tell you what I'm talking about next on 105.1 The Fan.
The Fan.
We'll open up the cafe coming up at the top of the hour. Oh, Swag, big news locally. Did you see the big local news? You might be interested.
Which big local news is that?
We got a big cougar sighting in the Wilkes neighborhood. You might want to get out of here and jump on that right now.
Nah, I've been down that road.
We want your pee.
Jed will be in line first.
He's heading,
Jed
heading over
can
there right
have
now.
at it. I'm good.
Jump on your PJ, Jed. We got some cougs for you out here.
We've got breaking college football news. Swag, if you want to hit the sounder there.
What happened?
It's huge, man.
What is going on?
Some would be stunned by this news.
Bum, bum, bum.
Oh, where the hell is
I got it. Hold on.
It's in one of the first pages.
There you go.
We're going to talk with Parker Thune coming up in the second hour, according to Pete Femmel. TH guys out there everywhere.
Where's Tom Thibodeau when you need him?
Vanderbilt senior Blaze Berlowitz will start at quarterback over five-star freshman Jared Curtis.
Blaze Berlowitz? Is that what you said?
How is that a name?
Who is Blaze? I've never heard of Blaze Berlowitz before.
Well, he's the senior
Has he
quarterback
always
for Vandy.
been at Vanderbilt, or did
I
he
have no
transfer
idea.
in? Let's find out more about Blaze Berlowitz.
They play Austin P on September 5th, so they're probably going to do the slow play. We'll be like, 4-4, and then we'll turn it over to Jared Curtis, let him take his lumps along the way. Or he'll just truly sit the first year, which good for him.
It's interesting. We've seen two different teams in the SEC make different calls. Tennessee decided to go with their true freshman quarterback yesterday, and everybody's raving about him, and we'll see how his year ends up going. And Vanderbilt, Jared Curtis was the number one quarterback in the country. Not that that means everything, because you got to go prove it in college. That was just the ranking coming out of high school. And they've made the decision to sit him for a bit. Berlowitz looks like he was also at New Mexico State, did not play at all in 2024, and 2025 was the Vanderbilt backup. So I don't know when he transferred to Vanderbilt, whether it was last year or 2024, but he's a senior. He has attempted in his career. He's a senior in college football. He has attempted 36 passes.
So I was going to ESPN yesterday perusing, and something caught my eye, a story I didn't expect to catch my eye. And I went, I don't know why I have to read this, but I read it. Do you remember the 2002 Super Bowl?
So Rams and Pats? Was that 2002?
Nope.
Who was the next year? The Pats go back
It's
to
one
back.
of those weird, remember the year is the season, but the Super Bowl's usually played the following
What would have been?
January.
Raiders Bucks?
Raiders Bucks.
Okay.
Do you remember the MVP of that Super
It's a
Bowl?
random defensive player for Tampa.
Correct.
Can't remember the name off the top
Starts
of my
with a
head.
D.
D. That dude.
Dexter.
Dexter, not Lawrence.
You were going to say
I
laboratories.
was.
You're thinking the cartoon.
You're going to say it, and it's going to drive me nuts.
Michael.
Dexter Jordan? Lawrence?
Michael. The other famous Michael. There's a lot of Michaels out
Phelps?
there. What?
Jackson.
Dexter Jackson. Thank you. You made me ee-hee. Dexter Jackson was the MVP of that Super Bowl. They blew out the Raiders. We all remember it. Gruden knew the plays, all that, right?
Yes.
How about this? The best day of your life. You've reached the pinnacle of your sport or your profession. Dwight Smith was a starting defensive back for the Tampa Bay Buck defense that year. You may not remember this because if you were like me, you probably started playing street basketball midway through the end of the third quarter because that game was a blowout and never close. Dwight Smith had 2 pick sixes in this game.
In the game?
In the game. He just sat down with ESPN and he basically did an interview and admitted, I had 2 touchdowns in that game. I was robbed of being MVP. He says he was walking with Warren Sapp. The game was over. He was walking with Warren Sapp. He got a pick 6 at the very end of the game. It was well in hand, but he's like, I'm not going to not run it in. It's Super Bowl.
It's the Super Bowl.
He said Warren Sapp put his arm around me, and they were chanting MVP, MVP, and Warren Sapp was pointing down at my head. And then they said, Dexter Jackson. And I got to admit, I was pissed. And I thought that was a fascinating admission of like, you won the Super Bowl, you had 2 pick sixes. I love
the honesty.
I think he's the only guy in NFL Super Bowl history to have 2 pick sixes in a game.
Let me see.
I'll go verify that. But doing an interview 24 years after the case and admitting you are still upset by the fact that you were not named the MVP after winning the championship.
He's the only one.
It's a fascinating thing to admit
The
so
only one.
long after, and he did a sit-down with ESPN, and it just, I don't know why, but I was like, I don't know if I'd ever hold on to something quite that long. I won the Super Bowl. I had 2 pick sixes. I had a good career. I won the championship.
It is. I love the honesty because or at least I know for me personally, if I was in that spot, I would feel the exact same way. Being named Super Bowl MVP that's an iconic thing. Like that lives forever. You get a trophy involved with it. Your name goes down in history with the game. In a way that it doesn't if you just simply win the Super Bowl. And to be the only guy to ever do something in the Super Bowl and to not win the MVP of the game. Now, what were Dexter Jackson's? He had a pick six too, right? Or did he just have a normal interception? Because I don't remember either of he had Dwight Smith's picks in that game.
He had 2 of the 5.
Oh, so he threw 5 picks in the game?
But they only scored 3 points after Dexter Jackson's 2 picks.
And Dwight Smith ran
had
them
2
both back.
touchdowns off of them.
Yeah, is the argument that it was a garbage time touchdown, so only count 1. But even if it's only 1, that's still a pick six is still better than 0 pick sixes. It's hilarious, and I love the honesty. Reminds me of the Carson Wentz stuff that we talked about years ago when his team won the Super Bowl. That a little part of him inside broke when that happened because I was supposed to be the guy that did it.
Thank you.
And somebody else did it. Now he has a statue in front of my stadium. He's the hero for this fan base. You should have won the MVP.
That is great show synergy because I put on my show notes and never brought it up. He also did an interview, and he was asked if you could trade places with anybody, who would you trade places with? And he literally said, Nick Foles in the Super Bowl, and he started laughing, and you could tell that
Carson Wentz did?
Yeah.
Yeah. That was his championship. He was the MVP, and they were the best team in the NFL, and he got hurt, and his backup won the Super Bowl. And he has a trophy he has a statue out front of the stadium.
I hear what you're saying. I don't know if I'd have that feeling. I won the Super Bowl. I had 2 pick sixes.
I mean, you're feeling
that's
great.
Enough is being said.
I'm not saying you're not feeling great. You're feeling good, but
he's not begrudging Dexter Jackson. He's just like, I should have been the MVP.
It's the voters. It makes you
24
wonder.
years ago, man.
Was the game so in hand that maybe I don't remember how late the second pick six was.
City, dude.
Maybe people had already turned in their MVP
votes. It was
votes.
41-21, I think, when he got that pick six,
and that made it 48, 21.
Yeah.
So maybe people had already turned in their ballots, and they were like, "Oh, damn it, that guy just got enough." Assuming that the game is over and they're just going to run out the clock, and he got a pick six at the very end of the game.
Well, I mean, how can you gauge in a blowout Super Bowl? I've always found very difficult. How can you gauge what the MVP is?
This was kind of hard
the Seahawks
for Seattle,
did this, right? When Malcolm Smith won the MVP of the Denver game,
even last year, I would argue their defense was the MVP of the game, but you can't give it to an entire. Not that Kenneth Walker wasn't good, but their defense was the story of the game.
I almost just asked who was, and then I remembered it was Kenneth Walker.
Kenneth Walker,
but the defense
dominated the game.
Yeah,
they won the game.
But who would you have given it to on the defense?
That's the hard part. In games like this, at least, or the one, 2014 or whatever the other Super Bowl was, you at least had a pick six in that. There was a defensive touchdown that was scored in the game. So it made it a little bit easier. To my knowledge, they didn't have a defensive touchdown last year, did they? They'd had a bunch of turnovers and a bunch of dominant plays, but I don't believe they had a defense
in the Super Bowl?
In the Super Bowl last year. And so that makes it a little bit harder. To your point of who do you give, I wish they could just give it to an entire
because I think their fumble
group.
recovery didn't get ran in.
No, they had turnovers, but I don't think any of them were actually scored.
I think
touchdowns.
Owosu had the fumble recovery, but I don't think he ran it in.
I believe you are correct there.
God, now I'm curious. Hold on.
Maybe he did. I don't remember. If that's the case, then it should have gone to a defensive player. Because again, Kenneth Walker was great, but their defense was dominant. And it was New England couldn't get a first down in that game. They would have won that game without Kenneth Walker.
Nwosu had a touchdown.
He had a touchdown in the game.
He scooped and scored.
Yeah. I don't know
45 yards.
They clearly have better team camaraderie than maybe the early 2000s Bucks did, because I don't see that being a problem for them.
I don't think it's a camaraderie I think it's just a guy doing an interview willing to tell you that 20 plus years later, I'm still upset that's not me.
Yeah, should have that trophy on my mantle, and I don't have it.
I love the honesty. I'd also personally say, move on. You're okay. You had a good career.
Get over it.
You made millions.
You little bee.
You're still in the history books. Does it change anything?
It's funny, though, and I wouldn't have remembered his name because I didn't remember Dexter Jackson's name, and I gave you Dexter Phelps. But Dwight Smith is not a name that I remember from that team.
He ended up signing a multi-million-dollar deal with the Lions the next year.
And had he won the MVP... Again, I wouldn't remember it, but the
you
name
remember
is,
Dexter's.
The name is more memorable, though.
Maybe.
Little bit more because you said Dexter, and I'm like, now I know. Now I can picture it. I know who you're talking about. His name is more memorable if he's the MVP.
Loaded second hour. Let's open up the cafe. Day Dirt and Sprague. We roll on with the Dirty Poll as well. 105.1 The Fan.
Now, from the George McCoy and Warren Allen Sports Desk, a Sports Center update on the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
First on the Fan, the news getting worse for some Blazer fans. Shams Charania reported Shaedon Sharpe expected to miss 6 months. suffered torn meniscus in his right knee in a private workout, with training camp set to open 5 weeks from today. Oregon State Beavers declared Mercer transfer Braden Atkinson their starting quarterback to begin the season at Houston September 5th. The Jerry Rice Award winner threw for nearly 3,600 yards and 34 touchdowns for the Bears last season. Cal Raleigh had his first career 3-home run game, and in so doing ended the Phillies' 9-game winning streak, leading the Mariners to a 9-2 victory. Game 2 of that series coming up tonight, 6:40. Aaron Nola, George Kirby, your scheduled starters. Portland Fire hit the road to take on the Wings in Dallas tonight. 5 o'clock tip. Pre-game coverage on 910 ESPN. Portland begins at 4:45. Dallas an 8.5-point favorite. I'm Jason Swigart from the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk. Don't call your mom. Call George McCoy at warrenallen.com.
This is
Hey, welcome back in. Hour 2. Hello. Dirt and Sprague here on 105.1 The Fan and the Fan Sports Network. Good morning. Happy Tuesday. It is a Mail Sack Tuesday, so get those Mail Sack questions in at 503-864-6326.
Mail Sack.
And we'll get to that in the final hour. We'll talk about the Shaden Sharp injury. We touched on that in the first hour. We'll get back into it in the third. One pundit saying, I don't buy this about our Portland Trailblazers.
Ooh, what could it be?
We got college football and NFL football all over the show notes today, so there's a lot to talk about in that regard.
Who's eligible? Who's not eligible? Your guess is as good as mine.
I actually don't want to talk about that at all. Can you pivot to literally anything else?
It's a little impactful for me.
Why?
Does Indiana have 2 defensive linemen that were part of their championship team on their roster this year?
You don't play them.
Not yet.
Well, you might not play them at all.
We might not. You never
worry
know.
about an opponent. You know you're on the schedule.
They're a boogeyman.
Yeah, they are the boogie. I don't blame you for that. So we'll get some college football notes, and we roll on with the Dirty Poll. The number 9 team in all of the land. Who will it be? We will find out in about 20 minutes or so. But let's step into the cafe. Good morning. Hello. Thanks for hopping in with us. We always appreciate you guys hanging out with us here on The Fan and the Fan Sports Network.
It's going to be a Bloody Mary kind of morning.
Is it?
Yeah, Shaden Sharp down. Bummed about that.
You know what's funny? I literally put on my menu today Bloody Mary
Yeah, we need one.
and the protein specials.
Yeah, that's what we need.
So we have an entire menu of protein items. You can do a protein yogurt. We're going to have protein pancake, French toast, waffle. And then you got a protein smorgasbord of breakfast options below that.
I like that idea. We need a little booze in our breakfast this morning.
Get a little boozy, and let's get a little beefy.
Maybe a shot at tequila, too, while we're at it. Why not?
Yeah, we can do all those things, really. But step into the cafe, and we start with last night.
Fly ball, right field, Harper can't make the catch. It's a 3-homer game. Cal Raleigh.
Aaron Goldsmith, Mariners TV. Somebody break up the Mariners.
Here they go.
They've won 3 of their last 4 games. I had to do the math there.
Yes,
Cal
they
Raleigh
have.
with 3 dingers yesterday.
How about those Mariners?
He's got 4 homers in his last 4 games, Dirt. Is he back?
I mean, look, it's a storyline if I were a Mariner fan that I would be super intrigued by because he's had such a bad year that any sign of life you're going to be desperate to go see. I need a larger sample size in a week from a hitter in order to believe that he can get back to being the fearsome guy in the lineup that he was. Not that he's going to be what he was last year, but just can he be a bat that does that? Can he win you a game once a week, just hitting a couple of bombs? Like he did that for them all season last year, and it was a big reason why they went as far as they did. They're still 6 games below 500, but the benefit of them is that they're, 3 games I want to say out of the division, a couple games out of the last wildcard spot, so they're very much alive in the playoff race. And they've done what they've needed to do through this tough stretch of their schedule. They go against Milwaukee. You're able to get a series win. The Phillies come in red hot. You take game one of that. So now you got a chance to win a series against Milwaukee and Philly back-to-back. And then in September, the schedule eases up for you. So they have survived and not cratered against this hard stretch of their schedule. And now you get an ease up in September. But as we know with the Mariners, nothing is guaranteed in terms of wins and losses.
Well, didn't they do this last time? He had that grand slam, you remember? And everybody's like, oh, my God,
He's
this
back.
is it.
Yeah.
And then I think he went like 6 games without a home run.
Yes.
So I
Just need a bigger set. That
good
was
night
awesome.
for him. Good night for him.
He's up to 17 home runs, so he's going to get to 20 probably this year, and so it won't be 60 home runs to 11. So that's good news.
Yeah.
because that's still eye popping. Not that 60 to 22 isn't still eye popping, but nice for dude. That guy's probably going through it mentally all year. I love Cal Raleigh, so it was nice to see him have a moment last night.
I would also like to add, despite what everybody thinks, I'm a Mariner fan right now.
Oh,
They're playing the Phillies.
yes, they are.
So take
Helping you
care
out.
of the Phils. Appreciate that.
Order up. Need an out. And right back at her. How about 2? Are you kidding me? That ends it. Kinley Rasmus to the rescue.
Carl Ravitch, ESPN, Little League World Series. One of the stories so far of the Little League World Series is that young lady, Kinley Rasmus of Phoenix City, Alabama, who got the game-tying run for her team and then also ended the game on a double play. Nice story. It's a great story. It's why I wanted to highlight it. Also should be noted, today at noon, if you so choose,
Yeah, what do we got?
double elimination right now.
Ooh.
Phoenix City's 2-1, taking on Tacoma, who's 2-1. So she's got a chance to eliminate our Tacoma baseball team.
The Tecompton Little League baseball team coming to town.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, they're not coming to town.
No,
they left
they're in
town.
they're Williamsport.
Yeah, they
they're
went
ways.
to the East Coast.
When did we get
actually.
Did we already get the Little League Major League game? Did that already happen? Or
Yeah,
is
the
that
Braves
this
and
week?
Brewers had it.
Oh, that was on
Braves and
Sunday night.
Brewers
Okay.
They had a little good game line at the end of it.
That's kind of cute. You got to do something
Yeah.
like that, Let the
Yeah.
kids have a good time with it.
It's not bad.
Yeah.
Do you believe in day olds?
Day olds.
Yeah, like you ever go to a coffee shop, see day old pastries?
Do I eat them? Do I believe in them? I mean, they are a real thing. I believe they're on the counter. I won't refuse to eat one. You know me. I dropped a bagel
Well,
once.
you don't like pastries. That's why
No.
I'm asking if you believe in them.
I mean, I could do a croissant every now and then. That's
what?
a croissant.
Oh,
I could do one of those.
Croissant,
Like
okay.
I dropped a bagel in the parking lot and ate it one time. So yeah, the day old thing does not scare me away in any way, shape, or form.
Well, I asked you about the day olds. That was the longest answer you could have said yes or no to. I asked you about day olds because there was something I didn't get to yesterday in the cafe, and we've packaged it as a day old.
Order up.
Been listening to you for a long time, and it's a pleasure to share this last one with you.
Thank you very much. It's been a pleasure to share with you, too. I appreciate it.
Have a good one, guys.
I do want to say before we get out of here, Carl, I got to say congratulations and thank you. Congratulations on playing some more golf, and thank you for the 30 years, man. You were a staple in my living room for 30 years watching ESPN. You made it fun to watch ESPN, so I just want to say thank you for everything you did, man. It was awesome.
That means a lot to me. Thank
You're one of the good ones. Thank you.
Appreciate you. Thank you very much.
So that was from the weekend. I didn't get to it yesterday. That was Chris Sale and Garrett Mitchell, the Brewers-Braves Little League game. And I wanted to play that because I think a lot of us, there's names we're all going to remember in sports media. Mm-hmm. And there's going to be so many more that you hear and you'll go, oh, yeah, I love that person. Mine for me was when we found out Mike Patrick died.
yeah, that one hurt.
I loved Mike Patrick and Joe Theismann on Sunday Night Football. I loved him on ACC Dick Vitale basketball games. He was one of my favorite broadcasters that never got quite the recognition of some of his peers.
Yes.
Carl Ravitch is absolutely one of these people that has put in a lot of work, done a great job, and I wanted to play it because I think it's cool that even pro athletes that grew up watching him are giving him the love and wishing him well on his next endeavors.
I mean, how many guys have been a bigger staple in terms of broadcasting in Major League Baseball over the last 30 years? Right, you have your team-by-team specific examples where broadcasters, play-by-play guys for that team has been, like John Miller for the Giants, been doing it forever,
Right,
that kind of
right,
stuff.
right.
But from a national voice standpoint, like Joe Buck would have been the other one, but when was the last time Joe Buck doesn't call baseball anymore?
Well, but also, Joe Buck is such a huge name. I'm talking about that next level
Sure,
of broadcasters.
the next rung down the ladder.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've always appreciated Carl Ravitch. The way his end of his run came at ESPN was unfortunate. The idea of he was contracted out but still working, but he got fired and everybody's news. That whole thing was very weird. So it was cool to see those players pay honor to him on Sunday.
Order up.
I don't think people are bracing for how low the floor could get in Portland this year, just because of all the weirdness surrounding that franchise, the clunky fit of the roster.
That is Andrew Sharp. Sorry, I was looking at something else, and I forgot that's a 10-second clip. We'll get to more of what he said. He had some interesting thoughts, and Blazer fans hot and bothered in the comment section by Andrew Sharp of the Ben Golliver GOAT podcast.
Yes.
Greatest of all talk, giving his thoughts. This was taped before the Shaden news came out, and just says, it's an interesting setup going into the season for the Trailblazers. The Shaden Sharp news came along yesterday. Torn meniscus in his right knee, and sidelined at least 6 months. Many people think it's going to be longer than that.
Yeah, look, the news is unfortunate. It's devastating for Blazer fans who were still hopeful that Shaden can turn into something, or maybe this was going to be the year that he popped. We've done that a lot with him, but maybe this was going to be a good year for him. You can feel however you want to feel about the Blazers, and there are too many guards in the lineup or too many centers on the floor. How does the roster fit together, and that be the downfall of them? I don't like using all the weirdness around the organization as an excuse for their success. Do we remember what happened on opening night last year?
Yeah.
The head coach of the team
We let the chips fall where they may.
got arrested by the FBI after the opening game of the year.
Yeah.
Everybody found out at 4-something in the morning. It dominated the airwaves on our station for 24 hours.
Yeah, a
the
little
players
longer than that, but
the players got random phone calls and texts. By the way, don't reach out to Chauncey. He's in federal prison right now.
Yep.
And they ended up hitting the over and going to the playoffs. So, this idea that Tom Dundon being cheap and going through this stuff off the floor is going to impact the way that they play, I don't buy into that. If you got issues with the way the roster's built, totally fair, and I'm right there with you. The Dundon stuff will not affect off the court, will not affect winning and losing.
The talk in the locker room from the media or the fans is not about football. And so whether it's Kyle Shanahan's car accident or Brandon Ayuk doing something wacky in a car or Jed York, the owner, getting arrested for prostitution, they hate that type of distraction. And the players don't want it, because now the players are going to be called into a meeting today, if they haven't already, and they're going to be briefed, hey, tomorrow practice is open. You're going to have all sorts of reporters here locally and nationally asking not about the Raiders preseason game or the Rams game 1 in Melbourne, Australia, but instead, do you have a comment about your owner? And they're all going to say, no, that's not in my purview. So it's a distraction, and you don't want distractions.
That's Raj Matai on our sister station, 95.7 The Game. He works for NBC Sports Bay Area. And that's what I was saying earlier, Dirt, for those that missed it, I think you are right. I think a lot of guys are going to joke and be like, dude, only $140 for a prostitute. You're the NFL owner. But he's not wrong in the sense of, the last thing I think you want is guys being distracted by conversations. I don't know how distracted they're going to be, but that's his thoughts on Jed York being arrested for the prostitution sting in East Palestine, Ohio.
I mean, I see the argument. I do. I also, you try and put yourself in the position of a player, and you just got done with practice, and somebody asks you, hey, how weird is it that your owner hired a hooker? And you just say, I have no comment on that, and then you move on. Is that really that big of a distraction? I'm sure it's creating a lot of fodder behind the scenes. The best news for them is that they play right out of the gate in week 1. You get that Thursday night game, which we're little over 2 weeks away from, right? I mean, it's almost here. And so by the time you kick off in Australia against the Rams, if you win that opening game, and you've had a lot of success against the Rams over the years, it's been a good matchup for Kyle Shanahan. If you win that game, is the talking point or focus of the organization going to be on Jed York and what he did in East Palestine, Ohio? Or is it going to be on, maybe we should give the Niners more credit. The Rams were the heavy favorite to win the Super Bowl. They just beat them on night 1 in Australia. It changes the narrative quickly. So I see the point. They are going to have to answer questions on it. I give pro athletes a little more credit than that I don't think it's going to be quite the distraction that people are making it out to be. And this is also an organization that I feel like has dealt with. They've had to answer questions about a substation for 3 years. And if the electrical currents next door are making more of their players get hurt. So they've been through this before.
I don't trust Google AI as far as I can throw it.
Yeah.
It's telling me Robert Kraft did not receive any official punishment or suspension from the NFL following the prostitution sting in Florida.
That's correct, because the initial
charges
got dropped because the search of the video was deemed illegal. It was an improper search, so they couldn't use it as evidence, so they dropped the charges.
So this is probably going to be a little different, right?
They already lowered his charges, though, too, from when he was originally arrested, Jed York, to when they released him.
Yeah,
because it was soliciting prostitution, and then it was down to disorderly conduct.
Well, you always plead no contest.
But he pled no contest and paid a fine. So
is he going to get punished?
That's the big
What do you
mystery.
punish this guy?
I also just laugh at owner punishments.
It'd be really funny if you punished him $140.
He can't sit in a suite for a month? Oh, no.
They wouldn't go that far. It'd be something really dumb.
Except my whole point being
$20,000. Like,
right.
what?
Okay. He's got the money to do it, and if you don't let him sit in a suite, he's just going to watch the game in his mansion at home. The idea of punishing an owner is always laughable to me.
This is a team that I don't know if they really are fueled by that kind of stuff. Certainly the previous Seahawks Super Bowl team, when you talk about the Legion of Boom era guys, they absolutely would have fed off of something like that. I think this team is a little different in that regard. Not quite the same chip on the shoulder types of attitude in this locker room compared to that one, but they definitely have taken notice of the fact that the Rams have gotten a lot of the attention.
There's Brady Henderson on ESPN Radio, our good friend, with the Seahawks don't really play up the everybody's betting against us chip on the shoulder thing the way Legion of Boom does, but they've noted that it's real Ram noisy right now. And so weirdly, they come in the defending champions. We already knew they were going to have a target on the back, but they're kind of coming in with this and you could even use my own opinion. I'm taking the field. I don't think we're going to get a back-to-back Super Bowl champion. It just happens so rarely that weirdly you get to kind of come into a season with almost like less pressure than other sports. Would you say it's less pressure than baseball, basketball?
Agree completely, yeah. Because once you get one, it changes the narrative about everybody in the organization. And also, I just don't think there's the expectation from fans. At least there isn't from me.
I think Seahawks fan thinks their team can do it again.
Can do it, sure. But you're not going to say Super Bowl or bust this year.
No.
Had you know who's Super Bowl or bust? The Rams are Super Bowl or bust. Anything short
of
a Super Bowl.
The Bills feel a little Super Bowl
right?
bust.
Like if
the
you
Ravens
don't win,
feel a little Super Bowl bust.
If the Seahawks have a good year, you make the playoffs. Maybe you don't win the division, but you get to the divisional round, you lose a field goal game to, I don't know, the Packers or whatever team you want to throw out there.
Right.
You're not going, what a disappointing year. You're going to say, no, we're good. We're still knocking on the door. Yep. And next year, maybe the ball bounces our way. We win that one-score game, and we would have gone on to win the Super Bowl. I don't think that shouldn't be at least the expectation, that or bust. They're going to have a shot at it. And if anybody wanted to make a gripe, they got a pretty strong argument about not getting picked.
Order up!
Yeah.
He reminds me of a very specific player. Release, size, shiftiness, running ability. Like, he is a carbon copy for me. I always do this. I'm always going to compare someone to someone because somebody that I've seen recently. An SEC quarterback that reminds me exactly of him. Any guesses?
I don't know. I'm drawing a blank at this point because when you mentioned Bryce Young, I actually looked. I was like, okay, what did Bryce Young do in that little bit, that first year?
It's Jaden Daniels. It's exactly who it is. It's tall, it's skinny, it's fast. His release is quick.
Flick of the wrist.
Flick of the wrist. I'm telling you, y'all are going to watch this. Just remember that he looks. Now he might not get his number retired, but he looks like Daniels, and he's got some of that.
Nice little line there. David Pollack on his David Pollack football podcast. I don't know the name of his podcast.
I don't remember it either.
Probably just the David Pollack show. He is comparing Keelan Russell, the now-named starting quarterback of the Alabama Crimson Tide, says he is going to remind all of us of Jaden Daniels. That's an interesting comp because Daniels may not have won the Heisman at ASU, but he kind of burst onto the scene.
Mm-hmm.
And then he transferred in the middle of the night, and we thought, okay, good luck. And then he won the starting gig at LSU and then won the Heisman. And, he became the number 2 pick. So, fascinating comp for Keelan Russell of Jaden Daniels.
C-Ball, Get Ball. Good name of the pod. That's a solid pod name.
C-Ball, Get Ball.
C-Ball, Get Ball is a good pod name. Talk about lofty expectations. The two names that I've heard referenced with this kid, one is the quote you just heard, Jaden Daniels.
Yep.
The other one from yesterday when he won the job, somebody was asked what he reminds them of inside the Tennessee program, and he said he's like trying to tackle Lamar Jackson.
You mean the Alabama program?
Alabama. Oh, sorry, we're talking Keelan Russell here? Sorry.
Keelan Russell.
I thought you were talking about the Tennessee kid. My apologies.
No.
Okay.
So that kid is comp to, you said Lamar?
That kid got comped to Lamar Jackson.
So we got Lamar and Jaden Daniels in the SEC.
It's like trying to tackle Lamar Jackson. So that's a hell of a 1-2 punch for young quarterbacks in the SEC. The expectations are certainly sky high, and they're both rosters where, if you get good quarterback play, you could go on a run this year. Tennessee's got a lot of really good players. Their defense should be solid this year. In Alabama, we know what they're at the wide receiver position. I think their defensive line will be a little bit better this year. And so if you just get above-the-line play from those two young quarterbacks, maybe you're looking at teams that could go on runs. But also, when you have freshman quarterback or young players at that position, it could also sink your hopes.
Oregon State's named their starting quarterback. We'll get to that today. Dirt and Sprague, we're back with the Dirty Poll. It rolls on. We step out of the cafe. The Dirty Poll, number 9 team, according to one Andy Dirt Johnson. We'll tell you who it is with the preview coming up next on 105.1 The Fan.
Time to open the door to the Blazers. This is the Blazers Report, brought to you by Ponderosa Garage Doors, Portland's repair and installation experts.
I don't think people are bracing for how low the floor could get in Portland this year, just because of all the weirdness surrounding that franchise, the clunky fit of the roster.
Yeah, there is Andrew Sharp on the Kevin O'Connor podcast. That was before the Shaden Sharp news. Shaden Sharp torn meniscus in his right knee. We'll talk about it in the 8 a.m. hour.
Yeah, I maintain I don't think the weird, quote-unquote, weirdness around the team will lead to winning or losing, but the roster concerns are real. A lot of guards, and we're not sure how those minutes are going to get cut up.
Tough blow for baby Kobe. This Blazer Report is brought to you by Ponderosa Garage Doors, where they're taking service to new heights. Call Ponderosa today, or you can visit them online at PonderosaGarageDoors.com.
Hey, it's Suk for Ponderosa Garage Doors.
Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
First on the Fan, Micah Nori's minutes distribution issue with the Blazer backcourt lessened a bit with the unfortunate news Monday. Shaedon Sharpe suffered a torn meniscus in his right knee in a private workout. He's expected to miss 6 months after surgery and rehab. That, according to Shams Charania. Portland starts training camp 5 weeks from today. The Oregon State Beavers have a number 1 quarterback. It is Mercer transfer Braden Atkinson winning the job. Season opens up September 5th at Houston. The Jerry Rice Award winner threw for nearly 3,600 yards and 34 touchdowns for the Bears last season. Portland Fire hit the road in Dallas facing the Wings tonight on 910 ESPN. Portland tip at 5. Pregame coverage at 4:45. Dallas 8.5-point favorites. Jason Swigard with the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk. Don't call your mom. Call George McCoy at warrenallen.com.
This is 105.1 FM and 1080 AM. The Fan.
All right, welcome back in. We roll on with the Dirty Poll. We're on to number 9.
The top 10 are upon us.
Yes, we've got LSU, Texas Tech, and yesterday BYU.
Yes, we do.
The number 9 team in all the land, according to one Anteater Johnson going into the year. The Oklahoma Sooners.
Boomer Sooner, Boomer Sooner.
We're getting Parker Thune on. He's going to join us coming up. He covers them for On 3, Coast of the Boz podcast, and 12 to 3 on KREF Sports. Also a Heisman Trophy voter.
Pretty jealous of that, man. That'd be pretty cool. I'd love to be a Heisman Trophy voter.
How the hell do you get a Heisman Trophy vote?
I don't know.
I tried to get you an AP Top 25 vote. I never heard back.
I'm not going to lie to you. If that ever happened to me, it'd probably be the crowning achievement of my career. You know how seriously I would take that?
Where would that rank of gifts given? Because that was going to be a Christmas gift for you.
Top 3.
Top 3?
Easily top 3.
Wow, okay.
I mean, I've gotten cool stuff. Ain't nothing cooler. I mean, top 3. Heisman Trophy, if you gave that. Ian Furness has a Heisman Trophy vote. I've never asked him how he got it or how they decided it.
Well, he works for TV stations, too.
I know, it's a TV thing. I was on his show a couple of years ago, and he was asking me to sell him the case. I think it was the Bo Nix, Penix years before the Pac-12 championship game, so the take age terribly.
Who should get the
And
vote?
it was like, sell me on Bo Nix. I'm like, you got it, buddy. That ain't hard for me, man. I'll fire away from him.
Well, let's talk to Parker Thune right now here. Oklahoma, number 9 in the Dirty Poll. They got a lot of expectation. Venables just got the extension. They've got the quarterback back. They got Michigan, Georgia, 2 in their first 4 games. A lot to discuss as the Oklahoma Sooners come in at number 9. Parker, thanks for hopping on with us this morning. We appreciate it. Let's go back to something really random. How and when did you get your Heisman Trophy vote?
Ooh.
Oh, my goodness. I am almost never asked this question, and it's been 4 years, I think. So basically the way that it works is the Heisman committee, there's a fixed number of voters, and I can't recall offhand what the exact number is. It's like 600-something voters, but the number never changes. And so it's always the same number. And so you have to get an invite. There's a regional coordinator for each region across the country that coordinates where the Heisman votes go, who gets them. And essentially what has to happen is somebody has to either retire or leave the industry for a vote to open up. And then once that vote opens up, the regional coordinator selects a new media member to receive a Heisman Trophy vote. So I got that call back in the summer of 2022, I believe it was, because, Caleb Williams of USC was my first Heisman Trophy vote that 2022 season. So it is an invite-only fraternity.
Fascinating.
We're talking to the coolest guy in the world then, because he got the invite.
That's badass, dude. Now, do you remember, did you vote for the winner every year, or have you had a year where you disagreed and you had somebody else at number 1?
Yeah, no, so 2024, I was an Ashton Genty guy. I voted for Ashton Genty over Travis Hunter.
Good for you. Yeah. I think a lot of people out here would appreciate that. Parker Thune, our guest here, on 3, Oklahoma Sooners coming in at number 9. We talked about the Venables extension. I kind of just viewed it as like getting ahead and rewarding your own guy. Made the playoff last year. I know they lost at home and blew the lead, but made the playoff, and I think people are relatively happy so far. You'd have to fill us in on that, but I just viewed it as taking care of your own and getting way ahead of stuff, because we talked to a BYU guy yesterday, and he said Kalani Sitake was 99% out and going to Penn State until they rushed in and promised everything. So I viewed it more of like their program taking care of their own. What are the thoughts of Brent Venables for Oklahoma fan, and your thoughts on the extension?
Yeah, so what you got to understand in the backdrop of Oklahoma extending Venables is, I mean, this fan base collectively had a conniption when Lincoln Riley bailed on them for USC in the fall of 2021, because that's the type of thing that doesn't happen at Oklahoma. Historically, I mean, the head football coach in a blue blood program like Oklahoma isn't leaving for another college job. You factor in all of the comments that Riley had made in the weeks and months leading up to that decision about how content he was at Oklahoma and how he had no desire to go anywhere else. People felt betrayed. People felt bamboozled. And so the people of the state of Oklahoma and within the OU football fan base, they value loyalty. And I think what they recognize in Brent Venables is they have a guy who's loyal to Oklahoma, the athletic director, the new AD, Roger Denny, who's only been on the scene since February when he took over from decorated longtime AD Joe Castiglione. He recognizes that as well. And I think there's an understanding right now that have Venables' first 4 seasons kind of been marked by some ups and downs? Absolutely. But there's a confidence right now within the walls of the Switzer Center, the administrative building in Oklahoma, that, hey, this thing is headed in the right direction. And between Venables and Jim Nagy, the general manager, there's a lockstep, there's a shared vision, there's a mutual vision for where Oklahoma needs to go and how they're going to get there. And I think there's a lot of confidence in the leaders that are in place at OU. And so if that's the level of confidence that you have in Venables and the whole operation at Oklahoma, I think Denny's mindset, I think the administration's collective mindset at Oklahoma is, let's make sure that we have these key figures, i.e. Venables and Nagy most specifically, locked down for the long term. And so that was kind of the goal behind the extension. It keeps them under contract through 2031, which is almost exactly concurrent with the duration of Nagy's contract. And as Denny said last week, you're not making this decision. You're not signing this extension with Coach Venables if you're anticipating having to fire him or having to pay a buyout one day. And even, look, that may happen. Unforeseen things happen in college football all the time, and so the leadership will be ready to react to that, obviously, in a place like OU if things do take a turn for the worse. But that's certainly not the expectation, and I think there's a belief within that building that Oklahoma is in as strong of a place as a football program with regard to the years ahead as they have been in some time.
Yeah, it makes sense when you explain it that way. You look at the schedule this year, and out of the gate, it's just brutal, man. You get Michigan on the road in week 2, Texas, Georgia combined in there as well. Like, the offense is going to have to get better for them. I think there's just a base level understanding going into the year. Like, Venables, the defensive guy, they got studs on that side of the ball. They were awesome last year. They're going to be great. But this past season, they also struggled at times to run the football. I know they have a stud at left tackle. Where is the feeling on the offense and where they're at, and Mateer's thumb, health, all of that coming together, and the offense being a little more explosive this season?
Yeah, I think here's the thing, guys. All offseason, I've fielded questions about what the offense is going to be like at Oklahoma. How effective can that unit be? How effective can John Mateer be? And kind of the stock answer that I always give is John Mateer just kind of needs to be a B-plus quarterback in order for Oklahoma to get where they want to go. He had a spectacular first 4 games of last season. He was the front runner for the Heisman Trophy. People forget, before that thumb injury against Auburn, he was the front runner in Vegas for the Heisman Trophy at that point through the first third of the season. And so he doesn't even necessarily need to be on that level with how strong and how deep Oklahoma's defense is. He just kind of has to be the guy that can manage the game, mitigate risk, keep the ball out of harm's way, trust his offensive line, trust the run game, and he's the type of player that will make an occasional wow play, whether with his legs or with his arm. But he doesn't need to be a superhero the way that Oklahoma quarterbacks of years gone by have needed to in order to elevate this team to championship contention. You think about the Swiss cheese defenses that Baker Mayfield and Kyler Murray and Jalen Hurts and Caleb Williams were playing opposite, right? Like, that's not who John Mateer needs to be. And I think there's an understanding in his mind that, I don't have to do everything for this football program. I don't have to single-handedly lift them to championship contender status. And so offensively, they really beefed up the skill positions, made key additions at wide receiver with Trell Harris from Virginia and Parker Livingston from Texas, brought in 3 transfer tight ends, Hayden Hansen, who's a 30-plus game SEC starter from Florida, Jack Van Dorselaar from Tennessee, who played quite a bit for them as a true freshman last year, and then a guy that probably has the coolest name in all of college football, Rocky Beers from Colorado State. So that's a fun unit. Their backfield is deep. They bring back a couple of proven SEC guys in Torrey Blaylock and Xavier Robinson. I think the guy that's actually on track to start week 1 is another Colorado State transfer in Lloyd Avant, who's just kind of shown up and stacked days and blown everyone away. Their offensive line, they're bringing back 4 of 5 starters, and the 5th guy is an Arkansas transfer by the name of Emarian Harris, who has 20-plus SEC starts under his belt as well. So there's a lot of experience all around on this offense, and I think that's where the confidence lies, especially with Mateer as the trigger man, is you just have a bunch of guys across that unit. Every single one of those 11 guys that are going to trot out there with the first team in all likelihood in week 1 have just played a ton of college football.
Dumb question, maybe. I feel like I should know the answer to this. Is Rocky Beers the brother of Reagan Beers, the women's basketball player?
Yes, matter of fact,
okay.
he is.
Good to know. I knew she had a tie, but couldn't remember what it was, and then you said that name, and it just rang a bell because she used to be an Oregon State Beaver once upon a time. Parker Thune, our guest here on 3, covering Oklahoma, co-host of the Boz podcast, and 12 to 3 on KREF. And as we noted earlier, the coolest guy on the show right now because he got the Heisman invite, and my co-host Andy Johnson didn't. He has to create his own poll to even be relevant in the sport. Nobody cares about him.
That's all I got.
Very easy one for you. Is Brent Venables the guy that can get Oklahoma to the mountaintop?
I believe so. And I think a lot of that has to do with the fact that Brent Venables is the best defensive mind in college football. And I don't think you would get a whole lot of argument in that regard nationally. You could make a case for a few other guys, but I think when you look at the track record, just continually, year over year, what Venables has done in the past at Kansas State, at Oklahoma, at Clemson, both as a DC and now as a head coach, the units that he's produced time and again, I think you'll hear testimony from offensive coaches across the sport. There's nobody they hate going up against more than Brent Venables because his whole scheme is so chaotic and never gives you looks that you can expect, looks that you can figure out. It's so confusing the way that he calls defense and requires a lot cognitively from his players, but that makes it incredibly difficult for opponents to handle it. So when you combine that with some of the able to recruit in recent years, what you're seeing here in 2026 is a defensive unit that can absolutely be among the 3 or 5 best in the country, and then it's just a question of how quickly can you get the offense to a place where it's capable of shouldering the load that's required of it in order to push Oklahoma to that national championship conversation. And they're fortunate, they landed on a former Washington State Cougar in Ben Arbuckle. Had a couple years as OC up there with Cam Ward and with Mateer there in 2024. Made the transition to OU in 2025. And he seems like a guy, he's from Canadian Texas, which is only about 3 hours outside of Norman. He seems like a guy that's in it for the long-ish haul at Oklahoma. He's a guy that at 30 years of age is going to be a head coach at some point in time, but he also doesn't have to rush it because of how young he is. His wife's a longtime OU fan, very content living in the state of Oklahoma, very content with the job and the salary that he's got. So as long as they're able to keep him around as kind of the offensive mastermind, then I think it's altogether reasonable to expect that Oklahoma within the next 2 or 3 years can be competing for a national championship. It takes a lot to win one, especially these days when you have to navigate the 12-team playoff and all of the challenges that are kind of baked into the pie within that postseason format. But Oklahoma can get there under Venables. There's no doubt in my mind.
Now, I'm a little petty. Last one I got for you. I love rooting against coaches who leave my alma mater. Like, it was hard seeing Mario Cristobal get to a national championship last year, but the years before that had been quite delightful because he'd underwhelmed. Willie Taggart got fired right away. So I'm one of those kind of fans. How have the people in Norman felt watching all of the things transpire in Southern California and Lincoln Riley still without a playoff win?
I think they feel very, very content with how it's all gone, mostly because, your hope, right, if you're a really petty Oklahoma football fan, I would submit that your hope isn't that Lincoln Riley gets fired 3 or 4 years in and walks away with a $50 million buyout. No, you want him to be stuck in a position where USC is just successful enough that his job security is never seriously called into question, but never successful enough that USC is actually relevant nationally in college football, which is kind of where they've been the last couple of years, right? Like, you want Lincoln Riley, if you're a truly petty Oklahoma football fan, you want Lincoln Riley winning 7 games at USC for the entirety of that 10-year contract or whatever it was that he signed. So all things considered, it's going just about as well, just about as swimmingly as the petty Oklahoma fan could have hoped.
Parker, really good preview, really good stuff. The one thing you wish the state of Oklahoma had that it doesn't?
Oh, my goodness. That's a great question.
I know.
Oh,
That's
God.
all we do here. Give us a Heisman vote.
Yeah, come on.
Come on, Parker. Let us in the
Come on.
club, man.
Come on.
We're good hang.
Recommend us.
Okay, here you go. How about this?
Okay.
How about this? See, I grew up in the state of Nebraska. I'm not an Oklahoma local, so I grew up in Nebraska, spent my whole childhood, adolescent years there growing up. You know what the state of Nebraska has and the whole Midwest has that I kind of wish were the case here in Oklahoma? Because in the South, in the Mid-South, like, they talk about it and they act like it's the premier thing, but it's certainly not as good down here as it is up in the Midwest, and that is a good steak. You know, you go sit down, you have a good steak at a steakhouse. In Nebraska, man, and in all those surrounding Midwest states, the quality of the steak that you will get up there blows away what you can get anywhere else.
Really?
I'll stand by that.
Wow.
Really? Nebraska with the best steak,
Wouldn't
huh?
have thought that. Would have
That's
just
a good
assumed,
take.
man.
You guys ever heard of Omaha Steaks?
Omaha Steaks.
Yeah. I also
There
know
you go. I mean,
Texas is
people
below
order them in
Oklahoma.
from all over the country.
Yeah. I know Texas has got good steak, too.
It's decent.
It's decent. There
It's not
we
an
go.
Omaha Steak.
Parker Thune covering Oklahoma for On 3 Coast of the Boz podcast. Find him on social media and 12 to 3 on KREF. Thank you for the preview. Great to catch up with you. Congratulations on making it to the cool guy club of college football. My co-host is going to go home today incredibly jealous of you.
Hey, anytime, fellas. Appreciate you.
There we go. Good stuff from Parker Thune of On 3 on Oklahoma. He thinks Venables can get him to the mountaintop.
I mean, they came close last year. Defensively, he is not wrong. They are as good as anybody in the country. I ask about the offense because it was their issue last season. And you look at the first month and a half-ish of the season, from when we kick off to October 10th, they have a road game at Michigan, a road game at Georgia, and a home game against Texas. If you lose 2 of those 3 games, you're probably out of the playoff conversation. If you beat Michigan and then split the Georgia-Texas games, you're going to have a great shot because the schedule does ease up a little bit from there with Ole Miss and A&M in the back end of the season. The gauntlet right out of the gate is brutal for Oklahoma this year.
So you've got LSU 12, Texas Tech 11, BYU 10, and today, Oklahoma number 9. We find out number 8 tomorrow on the Dirty Poll. A lot more to get into. We'll get into the Shaden Sharp injury at the top of the hour. We got a Mail Sack Tuesday. Let's get those Mail Sack questions in. We'll talk about Oregon State's starting quarterback announcement as well. Dirt and Sprague, we're back with more on 105.1 The Fan. Shaden Sharp getting a bad injury yesterday. We'll talk about that coming up in the third hour of the radio program. It's a Mail Sack Tuesday. So we'll get to that in the final hour. 503-864-6326 as we roll on here. Good stuff from Parker Thune on Oklahoma and the expectations for them coming into the season as they come in Venables with the extension, and you've got Mateer back, and they made the playoff last year, and they blew the lead at home, and so you're like, hey, man, are they going to take that next step? Parker Thune continues to believe that they can go to the top of the mountaintop with Brent Venables, and so, we'll just never do a live read. Why find anything we need? I don't know.
Don't worry. We can rip a lot of those up and throw them out here in a couple of days anyway. So that's
true.
a few
see you later.
A couple of papers short in the studio will be massive year for them, man. Like the idea of giving the extension. We talked about this yesterday. I get both sides of it, right? Like, let's be safe. He's our guy. He's loyal. He just got to the playoff. He also had 4 years left on his deal. And let me just play out a scenario. Now, I'm high on Oklahoma coming into this year. Me being high on a team doesn't mean squat. I was high on Iowa State last year, right? That's just a thought coming into the year. Let's say they lose that game week 2 to Michigan on the road. Michigan pulls an upset. Kyle Whittingham, first marquee game at Michigan. Their defense stifles Mateer. Their defense scores a touchdown. They win the game 17-13. It's ugly. All of a sudden, you're staring down the barrel of Georgia and Texas in the next 2 of the next 3 games, and if you lose another one of those, like, there is a world that exists that they start the season 2-3. That exists. And you just gave your coach a contract extension, and you might be 2-3 through your first 5 games. Now, I don't necessarily think that's going to happen. I think they're going to beat Michigan. I think they'll split the Georgia-Texas game. And if you do that, you're fine. Everything should be smooth sailing from there. But it's just funny how we have to always work ahead on this. We got to give extensions. Like, he had 4 years left on his deal. It wasn't going to expire. I didn't see necessarily the need for it at that time in place. And big year expectation-wise, because it had been very rocky the first couple of years for him there. Mm-hmm. Remember, it was a Dylan Gabriel year where they didn't quite make the playoff, but Gabriel was good. Gabriel then leaves, and they hand the job to Jackson Arnold, their 5-star quarterback. The offense craters. The defense is still good. We got to get better here. You bring in John Mateer and you get to the college football playoff, and that was a great year for them. Now you got to go do it again, and it's not going to be easy with the schedule they have this year.
You know, I find college coaches, and I certainly know that people have the ones they think are the best, however many that is. But we've talked about a decent amount this offseason, the group of guys that haven't done the thing yet.
Right.
That might be able to.
That could at some point do it.
I don't have a reason to say no to it, but I also, like, when I asked Parker Thune, can Brent Venables can he be the guy to get Oklahoma to the mountaintop? And he says, yeah. Again, I don't have a reason to not agree, but I also don't know. I have a really tough time gauging Oklahoma in this landscape. I know they have money. I know they're one of the more blue blood respected programs in college football in total.
Mm-hmm.
They're usually almost always competitive and in kind of the mix. But I don't know if I agree that I think Brent Venables can do it. But I also probably would have said this to you last year if you said, is Mario Cristobal the guy that's going to do it?
Probably the answer is no.
I don't know.
And he came close. To be fair, he hadn't done it yet, but he came close. He's been closer
going
than
into last year,
yeah.
Right? Like, I don't know if I would have gone into last year with the idea that he was going to do it, whereas, like, maybe this is the new backup quarterback, former top pick bust who's getting the Sam Darnold, Geno Smith, maybe Kyler Murray this year. You can't say no or never. It's all about the Jimmies and the Joes, and does your schedule line up, and did you get the right matchups in the playoff? Like,
healthy when you needed to be.
Maybe that's what I need to be thinking about Brent Venables. I'm not super anti-Brent Venables.
No.
I also haven't been left with a lot of, like, great thoughts about Venables because I think largely they've been a little underwhelming. And then when they made the playoff, they blew, what was that lead? 17-3?
It was pretty sizable. They jumped all over Alabama.
They had all the momentum.
Quarter.
They were at home. They were pressuring Ty Simpson. The line couldn't block. And then
there was a play, I remember, like, did a guy drop a pass? Like, something, it was like a switch play, and it was like, would have been 24-3, but he dropped it, and then they ended up having a punt, and then Alabama scored, or then they threw a pick six or whatever it was.
I want to say the ball was a little behind the receiver, and he was going through the middle.
They were up 17-0 in the second quarter.
17-0, and you lost that game.
They were outscored 34-7 the rest of the way. The irony
that's
of this,
a huge lead to blow.
Yeah,
I mean,
dude,
in
at
college
home,
football at least.
At
Yeah,
home in a playoff game, it hurts. For a Bama team, by the way, that they had already beaten and certainly had their own flaws.
Yeah, they beat them in Alabama that
right,
year.
they had already knocked him off. That's the reason Oklahoma mainly made the playoff last year. The funniest thing to me about the entire thing with Oklahoma, I'm with you with Venables. Like his years, this is going to be a 5th year at Oklahoma. Okay, him and Lanning are in the same cycle. Him and Riley and Mario and all these guys. 6-7.
Yep.
Dylan Gabriel comes to town. 10-3. Good little year. Lost the bowl game, so 10-2 in the regular season. 6-7. 10-3.
Yeah.
So it's been bad,
It's all
good,
about
bad,
whose quarterback
good.
is.
And it's all about who is that quarterback.
He had
And so
Arnold and they couldn't do it.
It was
and then
terrible.
Had Gabriel they could do it, and then got
Right.
Mateer and they could do it.
I just think it's hilarious to see a program who has got the absolute inverse of the coach that they had before. They hired a guy, and I don't know if you'd say he's the scariest defensive mind. He's certainly in the conversation as one of the best defensive minds in the sport. Their defense, statistically, for the last 4 years has been damn good.
He helped win
and it's
2
going to be
national
awesome again this year.
championships at Clemson.
It's just hilarious to come from Lincoln Riley, who couldn't, every playoff game he'd be in, he'd give up 75 points, and they'd lose 75-63.
Yep.
And now they have a coach who doesn't have an offense, but his defense is dominant. It's just the exact opposite, and they still are looking for a way to get over the hump.
Is he a coach you would Let me ask you this, and we'll go to the Shade and Sharp news. We'll get back into college football. Oregon State named their starter. If he won a national championship before Dan Lanning, is that disappointing to you?
No, not Oklahoma's a big program. They're recruiting at a top 3 level. I'm not going to pick it to happen this year. I think they're going to be really good. I don't know if they're national championship good offensively.
But I'm asking what coach wins the title before Dan Lanning, and you go, damn, dude, really, that guy? Because I think he might be one for me. I think he is a good recruiter. He obviously knows defense, but...
Yeah. I don't think he's quite in that category, but I see the argument that you're making.
Who's one you'd put in the category?
Lincoln Riley. If he found a way to get his... And that's a rivalry, but also, if he finally figured out a way to get his defense together to the point where he could win a national championship, good enough at the line of scrimmage play to do it, that would hurt.
Okay.
That one would hurt.
All right, good to know. A lot more to get into in the third hour. It is a Mail Sack Tuesday, so get those questions in at 503-864- 6326. We'll get to the mail sack coming up in the final hour of the radio program.
Mail sack.
So we start the third hour. Shade and Sharp down and out. Not good news. And this person has this to say about our Blazers. Get to that, hour 3 on The Fan.
It's time for Who's Stinking It Up?
Do not go in there.
A sports lowlight, ripped from the headlines.
We couldn't do diddly poo.
Brought to you by Three Mountains Home Services. Schedule your appointment online at threemountainshomservices.com.
College football has officially plunged into the abyss. We have never been at a place like this before. There have been scandals far more serious, but this is a new low in terms of the machinations of the legal system, the NCAA, and all these things.
We literally killed a Power 5 conference. What are you talking about? There's Paul Feinbaum. Now college football is changed in a way that I don't like with these NFL guys going back to college.
Maybe being part of the ESPN SEC collab and getting Oklahoma and Texas torpedo the Big 12 is torpedo the Pac-12. There's nothing wrong with that. But now we got training camp guys. What are we doing here?
How dare we cross this line?
Look, good for the Big Ten coming out saying this shouldn't be allowed. The SEC, nice little statement. Let's do the same. Yeah. Just take over conferences. This is a pretty easy answer.
Who's stinking it up? College football with these NFL guys. Brought to you by Three Mountains Home Services. Having trouble with hard water, lukewarm water, or not even any hot water at all? Call Three Mountains Home Services and get your tanked water heater tuned up for only $49. Your chance to save money and enjoy hot water all year long. Visit threemountainshomservices.com. They make home services delightful.
The Portland. From the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk, a Sports Center update on the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
First on the Fan, Trailblazers training camp will start 5 weeks from today. Shaden Sharp will not be in uniform to participate after the news came Monday from Shams Charania. Sharp suffered torn meniscus in his right knee in a private workout. He is expected to miss 6 months. Oregon State declaring Mercer transfer Braden Atkinson their starting quarterback for the season opener at Houston September 5th. The Jerry Rice Award winner last season threw for nearly 3,600 yards and 34 touchdowns for the Bears. ESPN's Pete Thamel reporting the Big Ten expected to enact a rule today that would prevent players who either declared for the NFL draft and did not withdraw or appeared on NFL rosters from returning to play for schools in the conference. Portland Fire on the road in Dallas taking on the Wings. 5 o'clock tip on 910 ESPN Portland. Pregame coverage at 4:45. Dallas 8.5-point favorites. I'm Jason Swigard from the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk. Don't call your mom. Call George McCoy at warrenallen.com.
This is the
Hey, welcome back in. Hour number 3. Dirt and Sprague here, Portland Sports Leader, 105.1 FM, The Fan, 1080 AM, the Odyssey app, live on YouTube. Hello, everybody. I'm Dirt, he's Sprague, that's Swag, and we were hanging out for 2 more hours. And I got to tell you, the mail sack, it's filling up, and it's filling up fast. It's coming up less than 1 hour from now. It's going to be a nice little sack today. And so I'm jotting down the questions. We'll get to them coming up 1 hour from now. You have 1 more hour to submit them at the fan text line 503-864-6326 or on the YouTube chat. And coming up in an hour, we will get to them. A newsy day yesterday after we got off the air. Oregon State has named a starting quarterback, and we will talk about that.
Yeah, that's good decision. I've been asked a million times, hey,
what do you think?
How good do you think the team's going to be?
What you feel about that one?
And I would say, hey.
You brush up on your Mercer highlights yesterday? Huh?
I did not.
You go watch your Mercer feeds?
No, I don't quite reach your level of sicko. I don't really care what you did at Mercer. Do it in the Pac-12.
That is the Jerry Rice Award winner, okay? Put some respect on the name.
You know, look, I have all the respect in the world for Mississippi Valley State's finest receiver of all time, Jerry Rice, but no, I didn't watch Mercer highlights.
I don't blame you at all. We'll talk about that. If anybody was surprised by it, we'll give it some of the details behind it. Maybe shouldn't have been as surprising as some insinuated yesterday. So we'll talk about that coming up a little bit later on. The news, though, that I think hit us all the hardest yesterday was the announcement from Shams and other local reporters that Shaden Sharp, ladies and gentlemen, is going to be out until likely the All-Star break, if not later. Then that with a torn meniscus that he suffered in an individual workout. This one blew my mind, and we talked about this kind of last year. Mm-hmm. It was such a big season for Scoot to discover, is this a guy you can build around? Do you give him an extension? Like, big expectations for him this year. How's it going to play out? And then he's, the hamstring injury right before the start of the year, and you don't end up seeing him until the last month. And look, he had some moments. He certainly had a moment in the playoff series. Won you the only playoff game you won in that series against San Antonio. He's outstanding. And then he disappeared a little bit from there. Here are the minutes played between on the floor at the same time of Scoot and Shaden over the last 3 seasons. This is the number 3 overall pick and the number 7 overall pick. This is the backcourt that was going to replace Damian Lillard. In 2024, they played 267 total minutes together. 2025, 821 minutes. Hey, that's not bad. 2026, 14.
They played 14?
That is 1,102 minutes out of a possible 10,519 Blazer minutes. Only 10.4% of the total possible time played together, and now we are in for another year where, you guessed it, Scoot and Shaden will not be on the floor at the same time together until March because Shaden will not be available. The immediate reaction to finding out Shaden going to be out for 6 months.
Well, on the first part there, though, that you're highlighting, it should be noted, like, that idea of a duo it's
gone.
It's been done.
Yeah.
I mean, that's not – last year they showed us they didn't care, and I know they gave him the extension, but that's here's an extension for 20-some-odd million. We can trade you at any one time. Let's be done with this. We have no idea what they're going to do with Scoot, although history suggests they'll probably try to sign him to a contract unless some trade comes up.
Yeah, this is the last year of his deal.
My whole thing is just like, it sucks to hear that. It's not surprising because we've been watching it play out. I also know that franchise, they've pivoted out. Their attention is Tamani, who Joe Cronin sits at soccer games with now, and Denny Abdia. Mm-hmm. And then now, hey, Dame's back. Everything else, Donovan you could throw in there. Everything else is like a moving part or piece.
Right.
That being said, man, when I saw your text, because I saw the Oregon State quarterback announcement, and then we sent text, and you said that with the Shade news, and I went, what?
What?
And I opened it back up, and lo and behold, I had missed by 30 minutes that he tore his meniscus. It doesn't actually change a lot of what I think about the season, which is...
What does that say about Shade?
I mean, what does that say? Right? Like, it's a bummer of a news story. I'm bummed for him. I don't wish injury on anybody, but I've had two coaches now tell me he's not good enough for them to believe in playing him in pivotal spots. I don't know. Mike Inori maybe felt differently. Maybe something in him clicks and says, I need to get more serious with my career because it's nice to make 90. I can make another $100+ million if I do the right things. I don't know, but I didn't have a lot of belief that was going to happen. So I think with the log jam, what we have here is a rare thing of this is awful, this sucks, but now you think they have to go get a guy, right?
How do you do, isn't their roster full?
I don't know if technically it is with the two ways. I'd have to, let me verify that.
This has two-way written all over it. Does
Cam
it not,
Whitmore,
though, like go get a guy who's going to be bouncing back and forth?
Well, hold on. No, Cam Whitmore is a guy that would make a lot of sense for them. He was released by the Cavs after the monster trade.
They can cut Sohan, too, if they want.
Well, he's got the camp-only thing, the guarantee thing, right?
But that's the 15th roster spot. The two-way guys
you need
are
a wing guy.
One of the few wings we have who can play defense.
But that's all he can play.
He can't score. I get it.
He's also not such a good defender that he played more than 8 minutes in the finals. So let's be careful with the...
We don't have a championship roster, but your point taken.
Right. So you need more
They can create a roster spot if they need to.
They can figure it out, is the overall point, and they may actually be able to find somebody... What is Cam Whitmore's size? My whole thing is just...
He's 6'6", I think.
So he's
looked
slightly taller than Shaden.
Yeah, he was more of a small forward than he was a guard.
My only point on this isn't to say you're going to get some saving grace that changes the fortunes. It's just to simply point out what a bummer of a news story to hit. I wonder now, do you add somebody that maybe makes a little more size sense, and now maybe rotations are slightly tweaked with Mike Inori? But it's a bummer for Shaden. I always rooted for that guy. I loved calling him Baby Kobe. I abandoned the nickname because I don't think that's in any way his future, but it just sucks. We get the Tom Dundon stuff all summer, the city fighting stuff all summer, and then here you go. Here's a crap sandwich 5 weeks out. Not to mention what some pundits think of our franchise. We can get to that too. Yeah, just a bummer of a news story.
Yeah, it is. You think about what his career has looked like and the hope and the promise from when they drafted him to where he is now. And not to say that it's all been a failure. I mean, I think for guys who played under 30 minutes a game last year in the NBA, he did. He only played 29 minutes a game. He was one of the few. It's a very small group of people who played under 30 minutes a game and averaged 20 points per game for the season. And so, there's little moments here or there, and there's little opportunities that you see him and you see what he's capable of. It's just another good reminder. I don't know what the future holds for him. He's going to be out for the majority of the season. I don't think the organization has long-term plans for Shaden Sharp to be in a Blazer uniform. To your point, the 3 and 7 picks should not be pivoted off of that quickly if you hit on your picks, but they clearly didn't feel like they hit on their picks, and they've pivoted to Denny and Tamani and Dame being back and Klingon and all of that. It's unfortunate when you have those opportunities to grab guys who could be difference makers and help shape the future of your roster, and now you're looking at another season in which he will be unavailable for the vast majority of the year.
Oh, yeah.
And that's been the storyline of his entire career, where he plays, he doesn't play, he plays, he doesn't play.
Even when he can play, they don't play him.
And even at times when he can play, he's not in the rotation in the postseason. And I'm trying to phrase it out. I'll do it maybe as we get a little bit closer to the break. But just on the idea of, does it change your opinion of the season? Because I think I had the same reaction to you yesterday, where it's brutal. The joke that writes itself is that you already had a logjam at the position, and now the logjam has been cleared. Now, of all the guys to go down, I guess you can argue Drew has more positional versatility because of what he can do defensively.
I mean,
but the length of Shaedon would allow him to play with different units to a certain extent that you necessarily wouldn't do with
Okay, so this is interesting. I don't want to get into this is good that he's the one that got injured. What I would say more is to get what I think you're hinting at is
can Dame, Ja, and Scoot play on the floor at the same time?
No.
Can Dame, Ja,
5
and
minutes.
Shaedon Sharpe play on the floor at the same time?
I'd argue no.
Well, sure.
I think Shaedon is as bad a defender as on the roster.
He's
so
really bad
I guess what I would get at is, losing Drew is a bigger impact on your season than Shaedon Sharpe.
Yes, agree with you
in
there.
my opinion. And I know Drew has the age stuff. He battled his own injuries last year during the season. I just, I think it was Daryl Morey, and I've used this phrase before on Daryl Morey said, after 4 years, you are who you are. The outlier of guys in the NBA, there's 3, and the rest are what they are. So, you can't hang your hat on the 3. You have to have the...
Yeah, they're the
we
outliers.
know what he is.
He's a bad defender who could give you 20 points per game if he cares.
He can also play those minutes and give you 8. And you go, did you play tonight?
Yeah, were you even in the lineup?
And then you can have these dunk on people moments. 27. I'm like, dude.
That was it right there.
I can see the flashes.
Right.
But it's from the minute we drafted him, we got to know him, we saw him here, found out why he didn't play at Kentucky. It's had a real aura of he's just he's been so talented and gifted his whole life. And it's been easy that he doesn't come off to me as the overly driven dude.
No.
And that sounds kind of crazy because he's a pro freaking athlete, right? You have to have some level of commitment. I've seen guys 6'5" that can dunk at the YMCA.
Right. They're not in the NBA.
They're not in the NBA.
Yeah.
But what I mean is when you comp that to the other players in the league, how many games do you go, dude, didn't feel like he played tonight?
Non-factor for
and he
30
played
of the 70
minutes,
games.
right? And that 18 should have been 27, but I didn't feel like you played. And so obviously your coach also felt like that, right? So it's really tough, but their versatility, I think it would have been far worse for their season to lose. And I don't want to say that as some positive thing that he got hurt. I just, you know what I mean? I'm trying to dance around making it sound like I'm happy he got hurt.
Let's play this. What's a more impactful loss, Scoot or Shaedon? Or is the answer the same, and does that tell you all you need to know?
I think people would probably say more devastating is Scoot because of the way his season ended. But
it ended on a higher note.
I can't put a million eggs in the basket, right? Because he played really good,
in game
15 games. You know what I mean?
It's such a small sample
He
size.
also had 30 points on the road and then scored. Didn't he score a 0 in game 3?
Goose egg. I was there.
And Dylan Harper just completely snatched our team's soul. So it's just it's bad news, and also it doesn't impact to me my overall feeling of their season.
Well, let's talk. Let's hear from the national voices on the Blazers. Here is Andrew Sharp on the Kevin O'Connor. Is it show or podcast?
I think this is the podcast.
Podcast. Okay, about the vibes around the Blazers going into the year.
Fans are pretty confused as well, and that's going to be part of what contributes to potentially bad vibes next season, because there's the Dundon tension and the Dundon weirdness with Splitter, the weird deal for Micah Nori. And so if they start out the year kind of flatlining after last year's momentum, that's where my guard is up for, this could get more dysfunctional than it seems like it would be possible to. I don't think people are bracing for how low the floor could get in Portland this year, just because of all the weirdness surrounding that franchise, the clunky fit of the roster. Micah Nori will have his work cut out for him. Let's put it that way.
I know we got another cut on that. Can I just add?
Yeah.
And a lot of people I think here already have voiced it, but you may hear this second cut and completely disagree. I could not disagree more. If they're disappointing and they don't finish where we hope or think, the one thing I would say and challenge Andrew on, because I think Andrew Sharp's he's been around the game for a while. He does the podcast with Golliver. I have to assume that dude's pretty sharp. No pun intended. How many years did Dame Lillard wear a Blazer uniform where you said it's dysfunctional here?
Right.
So, it may not live up to a win-loss hype or a certain standard. Dysfunctional that's different. And I don't have any reason to believe it becomes dysfunctional. More so, it's just disappointing. Those are two different things to me.
Yeah, and I also feel like I'll use a college football analogy here. Like, there is so much yelling going on about who's eligible, who's not eligible, NIL payments, and it's nauseating, right? You don't even want to talk about it anymore, and I don't blame you.
Yeah.
The second the season kicks off and you got your feet up and it's the fourth quarter of a one-score game between Georgia and Texas, you're not thinking at all about that.
I'm not thinking about the NFL guys.
So, the pushback for me is here, I get what he's bringing up. I also, as I'm watching the third game of the season and the Blazers are playing fill in the blank,
right,
and Dame's got 38 on the night, I'm not going to be sitting here thinking, God, you know what? Mike Norrie's on a one-year contract, man. What are we going to do? That's not, and I don't know, maybe I don't want to speak out of pocket for other Blazer fans.
Yeah.
Maybe some of you would be, I won't be thinking, man, Tom Dunn didn't give us T-shirts for the playoff game. We had to check out early from a hotel, but Dame only has 40. That goes out of sight, out of mind. To me, there's a little bit of this,
once it's back in our lives, we don't talk about the stuff that we don't normally
I also
not
think
talk
some
about.
Of this stuff from a media standpoint, and we've argued this the entire time, has been, not to say that they're all nothing burgers. There are burgers there. I see the burgers. I think they've been made out to be bigger burgers than they are. And that's from a media standpoint. I don't think the run-of-the-mill Blazer fans walking around day in and day out being like, God, I love Mike Norrie, but why is he on a one-year contract? Here is Andrew Sharp.
This is why he is so
low on the Blazers.
How low he thinks he can get and why he is.
We're doing. Let's go as low as we can go.
The reason I'm low is because I'm low on Dame, and I'm low Dame at this point in his career. What are you really gonna get from him? And Ja at this point in his career, what are you getting from him? And because of the commitments made to those guys, I think that they're going to have to put the ball in their hands. And I just like the team a lot less if that's the plan, let alone trying to play those two guys together and make that work. I think that's just DOA on opening night. But even if you're splitting them up, what are you really getting from those guys? And how does that change the identity of the team that was pretty successful and fun last year? That's why I'm bracing for a 12th place finish in the worst case scenario, as opposed to the floor being 8 or 9 or 10.
A 12th place finish in the Western Conference this year would be an unmitigated disaster.
I don't think Mike and Norrie's extension's being picked up.
Your two ain't getting picked up, Micah.
Might be
you're
a one and done. See you later, Joe.
We're going to chop you after one season. We'll see you later.
And I think the criticism or the questioning of Dame is the area that I think everybody's going to latch onto with that kind of cut. And they go, my whole life he's done nothing but live up to that. And I understand that. You're not wrong in the same sense of, I don't believe we'll have dysfunction because I've just not seen it with Dame Lillard teams. And I'm not saying he's the only leader in that locker room, but he's a mighty important one. I can't blame him for the opinion of fit, but also I'm pushing back. Last year was not fun.
Yeah, this idea from a media.
It ended fun. Right. They didn't shoot. They couldn't shoot the freaking basketball in a 3-point league.
Right.
They suffered massive injury, had to rely on two-way guys.
They got hot at the end of the year because they played a bunch of tanking teams and then carried that into a play-in game against Phoenix.
Yeah.
And then got bounced immediately in the playoffs.
Yeah, so you could think that their ceiling is lower than or their floor is lower than other people. That's okay to have. I can disagree or whatever. Spare me the whole it was fun. There was a lot of non-fun basketball.
Their head
happening.
coach was arrested by the FBI. On the opening night of the season.
I think you're latching on to 10 games of an 82-game season by saying, last year was fun. They were inept offensively and couldn't shoot. What was fun? And most of the year, their defense kind of sucked.
Yeah, let's have a little bit more on this. Your thoughts are welcome. The fan text line 503-864-6326. The poll question is up. Does Shaedon being out until after the All-Star break significantly change your opinion?
That's a good question to be asking.
On the Blazer season.
Yeah, I was I don't think this changes how I
feel. Because if you find out about Denny Avdia's out till the All-Star break, right? Tamani Kamara's out till the All-Star break. Drew Holiday, Damian Lillard, right? You're doing a gulp. But in this case, are you, or does that tell you all you need to know about Shaedon? A little bit more on this. We'll get to the Oregon State quarterback news coming up in a bit. Millsack at the top of the hour. Back after this, 105.1 FM The Fan.
First on the Fan, Mike Inori's minutes distribution issue in the Blazer backcourt is lessened a bit after the unfortunate news Monday. Shaedon Sharpe tore the meniscus in his right knee. He'll need surgery and be out of action for up to 6 months, according to Shams Charania. Portland set to open training camp 5 weeks from today. The Oregon State Beavers now know who their starting quarterback will be for their season opener September 5th at Houston. It will be Braden Atkinson, the transfer from Mercer and Jerry Rice Award winner last season, threw for nearly 3,600 yards and 34 touchdowns. ESPN's Pete Thamel reporting that the Big Ten is expected to enact a rule today that would prevent players who either declared for the NFL draft and did not withdraw or appeared on NFL rosters from returning to play for schools in the conference. Fire and Wings in Dallas tonight. You'll hear it on 910 ESPN Portland. 5 o'clock tip. Pregame coverage at 4:45. Dallas, an 8.5-point favorite. I'm Jason Swigard from the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk. Don't call your mom. Call George McCoy at warrenallen.com.
This is
Hey, Oregon State named a starting quarterback yesterday. We'll get to that coming up here in a few moments. The mail sack is at the top of the hour, so all that's still to come here on your Tuesday morning. Thanks for being with us here on the Fan. Wanted to read a couple thoughts here. We're in the mix of talking about Shaedon Sharpe being out, torn meniscus for 6 months, likely out until after the All-Star break. And some thoughts that rolled in. Let me pull up the Fan text line. I wanted to read. Where the hell did it go? Somebody said, once again, some Blazer fans, and I think Danny thought giving up Scoot, Sharpe, and Grant plus picks was too much for Giannis since he wasn't committed. Give me 1 year of Giannis. Seems better off than any of the guys on your roster. Then he added, the Blazers' best players are older, and in 2 years, I can't wait to hear Dirt's take if the Bucks are better than the Blazers, and the pick
So
swaps
the picks are terrible.
don't matter. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't know if I'm like the Blazer honk guy that you should be coming at. I'm pretty honest. No, Blazer fans actually don't like me for the most part because I'm too honest about how I feel about the team.
I think he's actually giving you a compliment.
Oh, okay.
I think he's saying the Bucks end up being good. You wanted to trade the picks.
If that happens, it's going to be it's already a disaster. That's even worse. I don't necessarily foresee that happening.
I also don't know if did Danny ever say he didn't want to trade Shaedon?
I don't know. I don't know the
think
answer.
Danny's particularly attached to
And look, I certainly have questions about the roster and don't quite understand fit. I also don't think it's totally genuine to say that their best players are like Denny's their best player right now.
He's only 25.
You could make an
26?
argument
He's not
Tamani
old.
Kamara is their second. Like, we don't know what Dame's going to look like. Now, you can sell me on the idea of Dame being better than that, but like Kling, Kamara, like these are guys who are in the prime of their career. So the idea of your best players are Dame and Drew Holiday. Maybe it turns out to be that way, and you end up being right. They could be this year.
Donovan's 21 or
But Donovan's
22,
young.
yeah.
Denny's young. Tamani's still young. Like, so you have guys in their mid to lower 20s who are very good players. And one more, the other one that I came in on YouTube, I did want to read. And look, it's fair. I understand. Like, everybody's going to look at it and have a different take on it. You guys are being unfair to the Blazers. The fact that we got to the playoffs, played hard every night, had an all-star, all while dealing with the injuries, and we really hyped up the fan base. It was a good season. And
no, that's not at all what we said. That it wasn't a good season. He said last year's team was more fun.
Yeah.
And he didn't like the fit, and he's worried about it. And my only point is to simply say, yeah, they made the playoffs for the first time in 5 years?
5 years, I believe. Yes.
So that was a positive step. Noted it in the moment.
Right.
They've got to play the Spurs. Won a game in San Antonio. That was great. Noted that in the moment. Their offense was largely awful, and they couldn't shoot the basketball. So, I'm pushing back at Andrew Sharpe's take on last year's team was a lot of fun. They succeeded. It
was fun to have meaningful basketball back in the area at the end of the year.
But don't pretend that most of that season was fun. There was injuries every other week.
No.
We didn't get Scoot back till late. Denny even dealt with his share of injuries, so he barely got to the threshold to be eligible for awards.
Right.
Drew missed 6 weeks. The coach got arrested by the FBI. That wasn't what I'd categorize as fun.
Yeah.
Some good stuff happened, but I wouldn't say the season was fun. Those are two different things.
One more that came in here in the fan text I wanted to read. If we don't draft Scoot and Dame stays, does Dame get the best out of Shaden? It's revisionist history, but what he could have been is the reason we feel so weird about him. Then adding the contract extension, also looking back, feels like a cop-out and just plain stubbornness, not willing to admit that they got the pick wrong. It is funny how, and nobody knows what the future holds, right? Shaden for the next 3 years could be in a Blazer uniform, averaging 24 points per game and play 75-plus games in all 3 of those years. I don't have a crystal ball. But as of right now, as the contract kicks in year 1, it is funny how the deal went from, 4 for $90 is pretty affordable, to 4 for $90 for Shaden. Is he going to be available? And that's how quickly these things can change in the modern NBA. The tough part with Shaden his entire career, and I think it was Hyken who's had the quote last year about basically, if you could put Scoot Henderson's work effort and drive and desire and attention to detail and intensity on the floor when he plays into the body of Shaden Sharp, you have a perennial all-star. And unfortunately, you have one guy who is gifted as physically as anybody in the league, it feels like, but just doesn't necessarily have the prerequisite of a drive to get there, and the other guy who's a bit of an undersized tweener guard who doesn't really have a fit in the NBA, but he has the drive and he has the work ethic, and you got these two guys who are on opposite ends of that spectrum, and it does not feel great about either of them at the moment.
I mean, you can have guys that work really well with other guys. The idea that Shaden was going to suddenly be something he has not been in his career because Dame is back, that doesn't make sense.
I think the point was not that Dame was back. It was that Dame never, if you didn't draft Scoot and he never left and your backcourt was Dame and Shaden, could you have gotten more out of him with a vet the entire way on that process?
Oh.
Because Shaden played one year with Dame and then they traded him.
One season.
He after his rookie year. I don't know. Yeah,
I think some guys are who they're always going to be.
Tend to agree with you there.
Other guys can grow and change. J.R. Smith's a good example of that.
Yeah.
And then some guys just come in ready, built for it. Right mindset. See Dame Lillard. Like, I just think those are your, and then other guys can't hack it. Those are your 4 categories of NBA player, and I tend to lean based on what I've seen. He just was always going to kind of be what he is.
What is the floor for the Blazers for you this year? From a win-loss record and a standing, like, we don't know how the West necessarily will stand up, but like,
yeah, it's tough. But
they won 42 games.
Their floor
last
is
year.
the 9 seed for me.
That's last year. The 9 seed was tied with them in wins with 42 with the Clippers.
Yeah, and I think they're going to be at the same
spot, same clip.
I don't.
You don't see a lower floor than that.
I mean, yeah, you can always see a lower floor.
Sure, with injuries piling up,
but with health, their lowest floor for me with healthy is 9.
9.
Yeah.
Start of the season, as we've mentioned, pretty brutal with the amount of road games, and after a few of the lower seed or expected bottom of the Western Conference, they play a lot of former playoff teams or expected playoff teams. So I think if they get off to a very slow start, I think it'll be hard for them to overcome. I could see them in that 32-33 win down 11-12.
Dude, 32 wins would be it.
I don't.
Is their end of the season schedule again like cake the way it has been the last 2 years?
They have a ton of home games.
Because I don't put much stock
But they also
in the first
play
10.
Houston 3 times in the final 2 weeks.
Is Houston going to be good?
Well, Houston could be fighting for either play-in or to get out of the play-in, like the 6th spot or something.
Because they were the talk of the league last year at what? Were they a 3 seed?
3 seed, I believe.
And they lost to the Lakers?
5 seed,
5
sorry.
seed.
Just as easily as you could see it all clicking, and Dame looks like the Dame of old, and Mike and Nori figures out how to utilize everybody, and the offense blows up, and Klingon can be healthy and a dominant. If all those things go and they're pressing 45 to 48 wins, I can see it going the other way, too, just as easily.
You said, did I look up highlights of the Mercer kid who's now the quarterback at Oregon State?
Yes.
You know what I did look up?
What'd you look up last night?
I got caught on a Ja Morant highlight reel, and I was like, if this guy can get back, this could be fun.
Yeah, it's a lot of eggs in that Ja Morant basket this year. A lot of eggs in the basket of can Damian Lillard play off the ball.
I mean, Dame, John, Denny are all who's off the ball, who's good off the ball.
Work? Yeah.
Does it make sense off the ball?
Do you stagger the minutes? Are they comfortable playing out there? Are you such a sieve defensively with John Dame simultaneously that you can't play them together? Like, It's just that I don't disagree with the idea that there are a lot of lingering questions. I also just think the base level in the NBA, like part of the hard thing I have with last year, like don't get me wrong, it was really fun to have things to talk about with the organization outside of where's the ping pong ball is going to fall. Albeit, I think we've now looking back and saying we screwed up our entire tank and we missed years of being able to draft guys that could help us win. And now those 2 guards that we took at 3 and 7 seem irrelevant for your long-term future plans. And that's a problem. So while all of that was fun, I also just like the idea of making the playoffs in the NBA because over half of the league makes it.
Well, with the play-in
and now you have the play-in.
4 extra teams.
You have 20 teams that make the play-in or
I
playoff.
guess 2 extra teams, so 4 total.
Right.
So.
There's 30 teams in the league. 20 of them will make the playoff or play-in.
Yeah.
I don't think of that in my head as like what a grandiose accomplishment. You did the bare minimum that for whatever reason you weren't able to do for 5 years. Part of it was your own doing for sure. That's just the hard part I have with like judging. It was certainly fun to have meaningful games to talk about. I am also not going to sit here and applaud you for this incredible job that you did winning 42 games against a tanking NBA schedule and then getting smoked in the playoffs. Like we all kind of assumed that you would. So there's a balance there for sure. For me, we have a poll question up. I put this up at Dirt and Sprague on Twitter. You can go vote. That amongst some others that you can go vote on that are kind of fun today.
What's the results early on that poll question?
For the Shaden Sharp one, we are just crossed the, I put it up a couple minutes ago, just crossed the 50 vote threshold. And as of now, 88.2% of people, just jumped up to nearly 89% of people saying no, it does not change your opinion of the Blazers season.
Yeah.
And it's a guard who you drafted 7th overall going into his 5th year in the NBA.
Gave a $90 million contract to him.
Entering a 4-year, $90 million contract. The Blazers offseason has been brutal. It's been nothing. We have not erased that yet, but I'm sure Patrick will the second he walks into the studio today.
I mean, it could have got changed yesterday with Isaac, but yeah, Patrick's going to do it today.
Like some guy erased.
It's got to be 0. I mean, Shaden Sharp having a torn meniscus is not great.
Starting now. Back to good news. Hopefully, fingers crossed. Hey, how about this news? Malik Murphy, who needs him?
Well,
we got the Jerry Rice Award winner, baby. Oregon State is named a starting quarterback. What do we know? Are we surprised? Next on The Fan. welcome back in. We got the mail sack coming up top of the hour. Last call for questions, 503-864-6326. Sports, non-sports, whatever you want to know, fire them away, and we'll get to them coming up.
Mail sack.
16 minutes from now, Shaden Sharp was not the only newsworthy thing that happened yesterday afternoon. Your football program, go Beavers, how about that, named a starting quarterback, and I got to admit, part of this did shock me.
It shocked you?
What shocked me was not the fact of the starter that they named. Your head coach refused to give Phil Steele a 2-deep, and then he announced his starting quarterback 2 weeks before the first game. I figured we were rolling into...
You think we're going in blind?
Like going in blind
Wow.
and like, let's see who's on the field for pregame warmups with the ones. Like, he just kind of had that vibe of like subterfuge. You're not going to know. And then, what the hell? We're going to name Braden Atkinson our starting quarterback. And he is the transfer from Mercer. He's a 6'1", 200-pound sophomore quarterback from Raleigh, North Carolina.
He's our Pavia.
He's your Diego Pavia. He was the best player at the FCS level a year ago. His numbers were outstanding for the season. We talked a little bit about this. Was that last week, I think, when you got back from vacation?
Yep.
It's a legitimate three-man race. And do you want Murphy? Do you want the unknown of Atkinson? They went with the upside and roll the dice of Braden Atkinson, and he's going to have a hell of a test to open on the road against a ranked opponent and then at home against probably one of the best defenses in college football.
And no doubt about it. And I remember we talked about that. It was... Some of the intel was that like nobody had grabbed it, and it might be Murphy off just simply the experience.
Murphy. Right.
That being said, I think most were probably delighted to find out it'd be Braden Atkinson. I'm still in a position where I think it's going to be over 2.5 quarterbacks play this season. I don't feel particularly great about their chances to be very good, but at least they're willing to roll the dice on the transfer and say, all right, we brought you in. Here's your opportunity.
Right.
We not necessarily want to go with Murphy here. Let's see what you got. And so I just think all you're looking for from Oregon State is, one, be more competent, be able to snap the football on a field goal attempt, but also see the signs of growth and culture change and whatnot. And that's not going to result in a lot of wins.
Right.
But I think for many it was, all right, we're not rolling with the same quarterback from last year who underwhelmed. We're going to give this guy a chance. Maybe he's now at a higher level. He's going to be able to kind of run with it. Maybe not win a lot of games, but be more competent or be more enjoyable to watch.
Yeah, what if you need to know anything about him, because we got these guys from lower levels, you're never quite sure, like, what does he look like? Nobody watched
put a lot of eggs in those baskets.
No, nobody watched Mercer football last year, and so it's a lower level. He beat out, obviously, Malik and Brady Jones for the job. His numbers were solid last year. What surprised me the most, digging through some of the details, and again, maybe this changes, he is a complete non-dual threat. The idea of him running the football is essentially non-existent. Last year on the season, I don't even know how many of these are sacks or how many are officially rush attempts. Like he actually was trying to run the football. He had a total of 14 carries on the season last year.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. So 14 carries for 9 yards. He's not running the football.
No.
So he is a pass first guy. The season did not end great for them as a team.
He's also 6'1", which makes me think
He's
he's
undersized.
5'11". He'll be behind huge offensive line guys.
Sure, it's not quite as detrimental in college as it is in the NFL, but yeah, I see the concern there. If you're wanting a notable opponent, they did at the end of the season. They were the Baylor School for the Blind, if you will, for the SEC team at the end of the year before rivalry week. So before the Iron Bowl, they went on the road and played Auburn at the end of the season.
Mm-hmm.
His numbers in that game, he was 20 of 33, 210 yards, 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions. So not great. It wasn't horrible. They got smoked by, I think it was South Dakota in their playoff game, and he threw 4 picks in that game, which kind of tanked his numbers on a season-wide whole because he was only 18 of 39 in that game. I said it last week, and I'll maintain it. It's easy for me to have an opinion on this because I'm not living and dying with it day in and day out. If I were an Oregon State fan, I would have been polling for this kid because the Malik Murphy thing, it didn't work out. And to the idea that you're paying a guy $1.5 million to not start this year, that's just not the truth. Malik Murphy didn't really have a lot of options of anywhere to go after last season. He sucked, and they sucked, and there weren't starting opportunities elsewhere, and he chose the devil he knows over the devil he doesn't know and decided to stay at a massive decrease in pay. There was a lot of speculation from people around the college football world that this cat from Mercer, who won the starting job, is making more in NIL than Malik Murphy is this year. So this idea that you're paying a guy to not play just simply isn't true. Mm-hmm. I will just lean on, and this goes back to trying to find things to be optimistic and hopeful about. Like, I just would rather roll. If this guy sucks, I can live with it. You bench him after a month. Maybe it ends up being Malik Murphy, and your point on over 2.5 quarterbacks ends up being valid. At least it gives me a glimmer of hope of, like, you never know. You never know what this kid could turn into. You never know if he's a dynamic player. And if he can survive the first 2 games of the season, Houston's in the top 25. You got him on the road. Texas Tech is going to be one of the best teams in the sport again, especially defensively this year.
Oh, and did you see the news yesterday?
No. What news did we get yesterday out of Texas Tech?
Forgot to put it in the cafe.
What do we got?
Castellanos might be coming down to Texas Tech. He got
Ooh,
granted his 5th year of eligibility, and they said Texas Tech would be the program.
I don't know if I would. Yeah, it didn't end well in Florida State for him. Like,
Still bring him in.
As an insurance
Sorsby,
policy, as an insurance policy because Will Hammond is the guy that I would pick if I were a Texas Tech fan.
Yeah.
But yeah, I did see that point now that you bring it up. If you could survive those and just not get boat raced out of the building.
What does survive? Well, what does survive mean? Like, you mean literally not get injured, or like what? Are you talking about a score?
I'm talking about a score and from an optimism standpoint. If Texas
I think they're
Tech,
going to lose by 30+ points to Texas Tech, and I think they're going to lose by 30 points to Houston.
That's fair. And maybe
I
that
don't
ends
think
up
they're going to
happening.
be very good.
They might not be very good. That might not happen. If you lose 56-0 in your first 2 games of the season, that to me is pretty demoralizing for what the rest of the year might.
Does 45-10 make you feel better?
When did I score the 10? Was it 24-10 and then they went on a run in the second half?
Like,
was there ever a moment in the game that I felt like I was in the game?
What was the final of Ohio State-Oregon playoff? Did that make you feel okay?
No, because it was 42-0 or 38-0 right out of the gate.
I hear everything you're saying. I just personally, I think the coaching staff, well, the staff hasn't. The coach has told you straight up, hey, this is going to get bleak. You need to support us. How many coaches have been basically said that? How many can you guys name top of your head?
Not a lot.
At Oregon State, you don't hear that very often, and they've had some bad seasons. He did that interview with Tyree Smith, and he was like, we're going to need you when we're down, which is, to me, the clearest indicator that team is going to be happy if they win 4 games.
Yeah.
So when I look at Houston and Texas Tech, I hear what you're saying.
I mean, those are losses. You're not winning those games.
But even if you score 10 in the first quarter, but the final is 45-10, I'm not walking out particularly happy.
No, and I'm hoping the argument that I would make is, can you be more competitive than that? We don't know what the future holds, right? I have no clue how those games are going to go. If you would have told me Idaho damn near beats Oregon 2 years ago, right, I wouldn't have believed you in a heartbeat.
No doubt.
Right? Crazy things happen in football, and you got to kick off and you got to play the game. We've also seen guys who have come from lower levels who have had immediate impacts. Now, again, I'm not putting the expectation that you got to go be this guy. Mm-hmm. But Cam Ward was this an incarnate word. He was this, where the hell's incarnate word? What level are we talking about? I've never heard of that college. Is it in Texas?
I had literally not heard of incarnate word football.
Ever. And then it's Ward. Like, who's this cat at Washington State that's going to be their starting quarterback?
Recruit, yeah.
Okay, all right.
Yep.
And then, look, he didn't light the world on fire, but he had 23 touchdowns, 9 picks in year 1, and he only got better from there. And he had 2 years in Washington State and then transferred to Miami going into his 3rd and final year of college football. So the larger point that I'm just trying to make is, if you can give me glimmers of hope offensively in the first 2 games, what I will go back to on Oregon State is that you're going to lose your first 2 games. You're 0-2. If you're not 0-2, God bless you, and you pull a hell of an upset in the first 2 weeks of the season. After that, other than Boise State, I will continue to maintain this. There is not a game on your schedule that you shouldn't be competitive in.
But okay,
the idea that you are leaps and bounds behind where UTEP is, or that where Fresno State or Texas State or Utah State, like any of these programs that you're going to play this year.
Look, you don't have to
you
believe
can be picked wherever you're going to be picked. That's
They're
fine.
being picked last by all of them.
Indiana was picked to finish last in the Big Ten 2 years ago. I'm not picking you to win the conference. That's not my argument. My point is, predictions have nothing to do with success on and off the field.
I get it.
We have no clue how this group's going to come together and play. You don't have a schedule where you have 2 tough out-of-conference games, and then you got to play Oregon, and then you got to play USC, and then you got to go on the road to Utah, and then you got to play in Seattle, and then that doesn't exist for you. You have a manageable pathway after your first 2 games. I'm not predicting 8 wins this year. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just simply saying, survive your first 2 games, give me hope, and then everything after that is like you're in a dogfight, or at least could be in a dogfight.
I just view manageable, yes. Being blown out more than 2 times, hopefully not. I am admittedly growing worried more and more that if they get to 3 wins, Because, and I'm not trying to say I think Colorado State and all those schools are the monster juggernauts.
Right.
I'm just growing. That statement to that news reporter legitimately terrified me. Because you just don't see college coaches basically say, we need fan support even when it's the bad times. I'm like, yeah, but are you telling me something without telling me something?
Yeah.
And that's kind of where I'm at. I just can't help but have that feeling.
Yeah, I certainly understand the point. It's gonna be an interesting year for them, man. Year one with a new staff.
How can anybody gauge what that is? You can say it's 8 wins. You
No
can
clue.
say it's 6. You can say it's. I have a bet on 3.
Right. Other than not loving your chances against Houston, Texas Tech, and Boise State.
Colorado State, they spend the most. We found that out. Jim
do.
Moore is a good coach. Maybe that's going to be good.
It's on the road, so it's a tougher game. Maybe it's a guaranteed loss.
Lost last time they went to Colorado State.
That they did as a Pac-12 team.
I had ran hood to coast. I had to watch that crap at Seaside. It was terrible.
They did. It makes it tough. We got to start diving into maybe some of the opponents in the schedule and all that, of what they're bringing back and what they're not. I look at it on paper and think to myself, they can be competitive in a lot of those games. The start is going to be brutal. There is no doubt about that. And Braden Atkinson, the Jerry Rice Award winner, the top FCS player in 2025 in college football, has won the starting quarterback job for Oregon State. By the way, one other quick note, Washington State also named a starter yesterday. Give me a second. I have it in my notes. Hold on. Scrolling.
That's higher ranked Washington State in the conference.
According to the conference prognosticators, Caden Pinnock is the starting quarterback for Washington State. He won the job. He is a UC Davis transfer.
Okay.
And he himself had 3,200 yards last year, 32 tuds. He also ran for 400-something yards. So UC Davis and a Mercer transfer for the Oregon State, Washington State teams this upcoming season. It is mail sack time. It's the final hour on a Tuesday. Last chance to get your questions in. Fan text line, 503-864-6326. We'll answer them, and we'll do it next. Kick out the final hour on 105.1 FM The Fan.
Big hits, big bets, big plays.
Today I'm laying the big wood.
This is the Layin' Wood Report, brought to you by Mr. Plywood, serving Portland for over 50 years.
Fly ball, right field, Harper can't make the catch. It's a 3-homer game, Cal Raleigh.
Yeah, Aaron Goldsmith, Mariner TV, the big dumper laying the big wood. 3 home runs yesterday against the Phillies. Mariners red hot and rolling. Cal Raleigh with a great day.
Yeah, desperately needed for him, desperately needed for the team. 3 home runs, first time in his career that he's done that. And if he gets on a heater, you never know what could happen in the last month. But I need a bigger sample size before I say he's on a heater.
See what the Mariners continue to do against the Phillies today. Lane Wood Report brought to you by Mr. Plywood, who helped me get all of my material in order to build my fence. They've been serving Portland for over 60 years. Delivery, custom cutting, and special orders. Great group out there, a local community staple on Southeast Stark Street or online, mrplywoodinc.com.
George McCoy and Warren Allen Sports Desk, a Sports Center update on the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
First on the Fan, Mike and Nori's minutes distribution issue with the Blazer backcourt lessened a bit with the unfortunate news Monday. Shaedon Sharpe has torn meniscus in his right knee. He'll need surgery and will be out of action for 6 months, according to Shams Charania. Portland set to open training camp 5 weeks from today. Oregon State Beavers had seen enough in training camp to declare Mercer transfer Braden Atkinson the starting quarterback to begin the season. They're at Houston September 5th. The Jerry Rice Award winner threw for nearly 3,600 yards and 34 touchdowns for the Bears last season. ESPN's Pete Thamel reporting that the Big Ten is expected to enact a rule today that would prevent players who either declared for the NFL draft and did not withdraw or appeared on NFL rosters from returning to play for schools in the conference. Portland Fire on the road in Dallas tonight, taking on the Wings, who are looking to clinch a playoff spot. It'll be on 910 ESPN. Portland at 5 o'clock, pregame at 4:45. Dallas 8.5-point favorites. I'm Jason Swigard from the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk. Don't call your mom. Call George McCoy at warrenallen.com.
This is the
final hour, Durden Sprague, your Portland sports leader, 105.1 FM, The Fan, 1080 AM, the Odyssey app, live on YouTube. Good morning, everybody. Happy Tuesday. It is time for the Sparta TRT mail sack. Whether you're hitting the gym or just trying to survive the workday, don't just watch from the sidelines. Reclaim your edge and win at the second half of live, SpartaTRT.com. Before I start answering mail sack questions, there's something that needs to be addressed on the show. We need to
definitely buried the lead.
Something has been buried today.
Well, we buried it a little purposely, but
yes,
we wanted to save it for the right time. This is the right time.
There may or may not have been somebody wanting to ask a question in the mail sack today. And before we allow that question to be asked, there needs to be a simple happy birthday to you.
Okay, stop. Enough. That's a copyrighted song.
My apologies.
That is actually a copyrighted song.
Who copied? Really? The
Two
person
sisters who wrote it.
Oh, pound sand.
LeBron with his Taco Tuesday. Is that what we're dealing with here?
I love that was an actual producer moment and not an awkward moment of like, please stop singing that. We can get in trouble.
Legally stop.
Literally, please stop singing that.
I don't want a bill.
Happy birthday, old balls. How we doing? Huh?
We're good.
Senior Citizen Day.
Yeah, that is the
legally
the mail sack question.
Yeah.
From @fanswag on Twitter.
@fanswag. Hey, what's you got?
now that I am 55, what are the top senior discounts in the Portland area that I need to make sure to avail myself
every
of?
breakfast?
Yeah,
every breakfast.
We need to hear from the seniors out there because
Why don't you chime in during the cafe?
Yeah.
Because you were on a roll. You had a lot of audio. There was a lot of stuff going on in the cafe.
It was a full cafe today. There was a lot going on in the cafe today. Yeah, I know I don't want to speak for my dad, but what I do know about him for his senior discount usage is there is a day. I don't know. Don't quote me on it. I don't know what day of the week it is. Fred Meyers has a senior discount day.
10% off.
And he's like
on the first Tuesday of every month.
I'm pretty sure religiously the first Tuesday of every month he goes and buys a butt ton of stuff at Freddy's.
10%.
Yeah, man. 10% is 10%. 10%, is 10% 10%?
I think it's $1.
Is it 10%? Depends on what you're buying. What are you buying at Freddy's? Come on. Huh?
Well,
Freddy's
that'll
has
be the
everything,
day go,
don't you know?
If I go to
What's
Freddy's
on your list today?
And
You'll find it.
I check the old bottle return fund account, and I get the bonus on the bottle return fund.
Wait a minute. There's a senior bonus on the bottle return?
No. There's a bonus if you, so rather than just getting cash out,
okay,
if you get it as store credit at Fred Meyer,
I see what you're saying.
You get a bonus.
Okay.
I can't remember. I think it's 20%.
Can I chime in on the bottle return thing?
That's not a bad idea.
I had a bunch of bags from the weekend of building a fence. We had 5 bags specifically.
Yeah. And you're using the appropriate green bags and
with the stickers.
slap the QR code on there.
The dirty secret in my area is don't go to Fred Meyer. Their bottle return is always too full to even stuff them in.
It is always crowded over
You
there.
go to the New Seasons, which nobody knows takes those because it's quietly done.
That's true.
And it's more ritzy.
I rolled in with 5 bags yesterday. Like 5. Yeah. And the lady goes, we can only take 4.
Okay.
And I was in a weird mood, and I just thought, this one bag's going to make or break the entire deal.
Exactly.
So can I do 4, walk around the block, and then do 1?
Can I do 4 and give this bag to my wife, who will then literally walk in front of me to show you that this is a stupid rule you have?
Yes.
Yeah, that's pretty dumb.
Anyways, I didn't argue. I didn't comment, but I just thought, you really are holding firm on the 4 so hard that this 5th bag has to walk back out with me?
That's pretty stupid.
It's in my car right now.
That's pretty stupid.
Really dumb. I'm looking up discounts right now, by the way,
There you
for
go.
you, Swag, with 55 and over. Here you go in the Portland area.
People are texting in golf courses is a good
Golf
one.
courses is a good one.
Amtrak.
Amtrak. Somebody said there's a super senior flight discount you could get.
Oh, this is 65 for Amtrak.
I gotta wait.
Oh, yeah, 10 more years away.
Okay, Fred Meyer, we established that. Goodwill, 55 and older.
Okay. Not a big thrifter, but you know.
Oh, the Lloyd Center ice rink.
Oh.
Sorry, that's not going to happen.
R.I.P.
Michaels, do you like crafts?
I need some frames.
Maybe you can
They still doing frames?
Dude, most of these are like 62 and 65. It's kind of weird.
That's kind of bogus.
Why 62?
Let me get it at 55, damn it. How does it feel to be 55?
Not that much different.
Yeah, it feels the same. Yeah.
Pinch to grow an inch. T-Mobile has phone plans for 55 and older.
Yeah?
Don't think I'm not calling that.
It's called their gray plan.
That's okay.
You allow it.
Yeah.
At 55, you have to. You don't even really have a choice.
It hangs a little lower.
Well, happy birthday, Swag.
Thank you.
If you got any good senior discounts, text them in 503-864-6326.
Let me know where I need to go.
Where does Swag need to go start doing some shopping?
You know you've really reached senior citizen life. Like, I know by some technicalities you're there, I guess, the discount. You will know truly you're a senior citizen when you're in a McDonald's at 5 a.m. eating breakfast with your best friend. That's when you know I'm old.
I'm ready for a coffee.
55? You're a little older than some.
Yeah.
You're not old.
No.
You're old when you're in McDonald's
That's
at
right.
5 a.m.
5 a.m. Just
for
having a
big
cup of
pancake
coffee.
breakfast.
Cup of coffee. Yeah, eat
Yeah.
it inside. Why not? It's cheap. Mail sack question. Power rank ways Tommy Two Nickels can win back the fan base. 1, retire Roy and Aldridge jerseys. 2, change the uniforms to any throwbacks of your choice.
Yeah.
3, bring back the chalupa at 100 points. 4, announce you've bought out of the Mona to keep the Rose Garden name. Or 5, hire Mike Barrett to replace Kevin Calabro.
Well, Kevin Calabro's been replaced. We don't know by who.
We don't know by who.
He is going
Kevin,
on. We don't know
Kevin
who's
tapped
coming.
out of his own accord.
Calling it the Rose Garden. I
Would be
told
the biggest
Dirk this
one.
today and Johnny Ludwig yesterday. If I was uber rich and bought the team, I would end arena naming right deals and say we're the Rose Garden. We're not for sale there.
Yeah, that would be my power ranking. Would be 1, Rose Garden. 2, throwback jerseys. 3,
Jersey's bigger than the Rose Garden.
is it for you?
I mean,
We call it the Rose Garden anyways, I
the
guess.
easiest thing you could make the most money on.
3 would be the Barrett replacement of Calabro. Which one am I missing here? 4, chalupas. I prefer orange chicken at this point. And
The food thing needs to happen. It's
last would be
stupid.
Roy and Aldridge numbers retire. That doesn't, I just, whatever. You do it, that's fine. I'm not losing sleep
Aldridge
over
will
that.
get retired. I don't know if Roy will, and that's a debatable topic, but help build the district.
Yeah.
That's a pretty big one.
The biggest thing he could do is to make this lease negotiation period, work period, shorter than is expected. Get the damn thing done and start focusing on
honing in on the
honing
district.
in on the district and whatever they're going to do to upgrade Moda and all of those. The sooner he does that, and there's a 20-year lease signed, that's what will start to turn fans around.
Agree with you completely. Mail sack question. Yesterday's chess discussion got me thinking about a 4-man bracket competition at the Fan. Swag is the 1 seed, Sprague is the 2.
I would not be a 1 seed.
Just reading the text. Who is the 3 and the 4? Rob Brandman, Dave Kingsella. That's a random shout out. Call it the Castle Peace Showdown.
Who is David Kingsella playing chess?
I have no idea who plays.
I don't know.
Usually,
the
people that play chess are not necessarily the people you would tab initially.
Who else do we think can play? I know Danny Meringue would claim he could play very elite chess.
Probably won state championship.
He probably beat that Magnus guy in a tournament at one point.
It would not surprise
Queen's Gambit
me.
was based off his life.
Well,
it would not surprise me if P. Harris turned out to be a chess player.
Oh, okay.
Casey would probably tell you he's great at chess and he should be given more consideration for being great at chess.
Okay.
He seems to be kind of the Sparky in the building that loves to do that on every topic.
Throw his name out there.
We just jokingly talked about Schultze wanting to have sex with me for my body. I walked out to go pee, and Casey got mad that he wasn't considered to have sex with more. And I was like,
I had a full body boner for 2 weeks.
That's the one you get offended by,
That's the thing. You can have it, dude. Go.
Schultze does want you. He wants a piece of Sprague.
I don't think I should be a 2 seed.
You don't want to be the 2 seed? Well, that's the hard part is nobody's
I'm
really
cocky, sniffing swag. That's it.
Nobody's really deserving of a 1 or a 2 seed in a chess tournament, as far as I know. Again, maybe it's Patrick Harris. Maybe he's elite at it.
I will sit down and take on the challenge, but I in no way, shape, or form.
I'm going to move my castles all over your castle.
Are you wearing your glasses while we play?
No.
Oh, I got a chance to beat you.
Yeah. Glasses are intimidating.
You wear glasses. I think you're going to beat me.
That's intimidating.
Every time.
P1 Tanner, mail sack question. I may be late, but if Jed York's spending $140 on his hookers, how much is Tommy Two Nickels spending on his? His guess was $20.
He's getting the Boom Boom Sisters, 2 for $50.
Now, it should be noted we have clarification from the trailer park. Is that correct?
I need to go find this. So this was from Pro Football Talk.
They're trying to say no hookers here?
Well,
the mobile home is trying to be exonerated out of this deal.
Well, the Wheat Hill mobile home community.
Wheat.
Will Wheaton? Is it wheat? Are there wheat fields over there?
If you lived in Wheaton Mobile Home Community in East Palestine, are you like, holy crap?
Wheat
we got
Hill,
here?
2 words. Wheat Hill.
I've been living here this whole time.
Right
Cindy's only charging $140. How did I not know?
Why am I spending this on OnlyFans?
Come on.
So anyway, there was a message on the Facebook page for the community said, quote, I just got off the phone with the chief of police for East Palestine. That's Chief Weingart. And according to the chief, Jed York was arrested in the park because that's where he happened to get pulled over.
So he was driving by a trailer park, got pulled over.
So he's not going to
They
the
were
mobile
not
home.
using addresses in the park as part of the sting operation from the police.
When did he solicit the prostitute then?
Well, I think that was an online commitment deal.
Okay.
So this is from the community's website, quote, Wheat Hill Mobile Home Community is a clean, quiet, and affordable place to call home. This is not the type of place that Jerry Springer would ever find people to be on his show.
Can I add in as somebody who lived in a mobile home community not called Wheat Hill?
There was no Wheat Hill in
there was
Park
no
Rose.
Wheat Hill. Don't call it a trailer park. Mobile home community and trailer park are two different things that the mobile home community does not appreciate.
They don't want to be called a trailer park?
So one year we were living in one.
I mean, I can make sense. I get it.
And I had friends with me. We were walking back from, we probably walked to like a Jack in the Box or something. And we were walking back. And, at this point in my life, it's, Sprague is getting made fun of for where he lives.
Yeah.
And he kind of deserved it. He made fun of his friends. And now his friends were like, hey, we're going to tow your home away.
Yeah.
A lot of jokes were made.
Sure.
And we were about to get to my mobile home, and I was like, oh, dude, this trailer park. And I just shook my head, and literally an old guy, it's a mobile home community. And I just looked over and was like, okay.
Does that make you feel better?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I'm just asking.
Nobody's backing up the truck to tow you away. They're going to have to lift and place on the truck. You're not just hitching it and walking out.
It's a mobile home community.
That's it. Underrated, talked about deal.
Fair. I get it.
For people that live in the mobile home community.
I get it. Mail sack question. Took my annual trip to my local Burgerville for Marionberry milkshake this weekend, and it was bleeping perfect.
Yeah,
Okay.
My question is, what is your favorite flavor of milkshake outside of the standard chocolate and vanilla? I'm leaning more into like, you always want to buy your kids a treat, special occasions, right? Or they've been good. Like, we got a lot of ice cream places in the neighborhood. I'll tell you what, man, the milkshake, much more convenient than an ice cream cone.
Oh, I was
Like,
literally
it's-
going to say the opposite. It's
Really?
the most overrated ice cream thing.
Oh, I love milkshakes.
Give me a sundae.
Right.
Give me an ice cream
Well, the
cone.
milkshake with younger kids, because you have a lid and a
Yes,
straw.
this is my point.
And
Like,
there's
dude, when I give
limited
him ice
amount
cream,
of damage they can do. You
it is
got a
gnarly.
cone. Either one, the ice cream falls off the cone, then they start screaming, and
That's
I have to go
happened.
buy
It melts on
another
the
one.
fingers, is
That's
or
happened.
two, it melts all over everything, and then
Everything's washed.
You're
and there's-
cleaning.
You're throwing them into a
everything.
tub of water the second
Yes.
you get home.
Look, you're not wrong on some of these points. There's nothing more uncomfortable than the dad having to tell the little child, "Hey, do this."
Like this.
Licking-
Turn it.
Turn it. Turn it.
Keep licking.
You lick and turn. Lick and turn.
Get that tongue working.
But it's not my look. I'll go strawberry,
Don't pull
classic
that.
strawberry with real strawberry milkshake is a staple for me.
Yeah.
I almost never go milkshake. I just prefer the Blizzard. The Blizzard is better than the milkshake.
Yes, that is true.
Yeah.
But as far as non-standard, the Shamrock, the mint shake, like the mint shake.
God, that's a good
great call.
It's really refreshing.
That's
a great call.
Flavored ice cream.
I'm a basic B. Like every time I do get a milkshake, it is just simply chocolate. But I remember liking strawberry milkshakes. Like we just got milkshakes a couple weeks ago, and I just was like, "Give me a chocolate milkshake." It's easy. I like it. It's good.
Housed it.
I absolutely did, dude. That thing was gone a block and a half away from the ice cream place. Let's get one more in here, and then we'll get to the other side of the sack. Mail sack question. My dad recently passed, and I want to spread his ashes on a golf course. Do I spread them on a course we played together, or do I spread them on a course we wanted to play together, like Bandon or Pebble Beach?
Here's a tough question for you. One,
sorry for your loss, R.I.P.
Sorry for your loss.
We're all
Condolences
dreading that
to you.
day. If Teddy Ballgame does this, I'm going to be crying from heaven.
So here's my take.
Yes.
You give a different take. Where did you make more memories with your dad? And I'm going my local muni that we played religiously.
Yes, that you grew up on with him.
Torrey Pines, I just saw it, beautiful. I can't imagine what Augusta looks like. Like, I've been at band and I know that feeling.
Yeah.
But if he didn't play it, I just think it means you're probably going to play that local muni more than you'll play these extravagant places.
Without a doubt.
And if you're ever at hole 7 in an off area where there's hardly any golf balls that you spread it, you'll always go hole 7. You'll
remember
think
the
your dad.
spot, and you'll see where it is.
Like, I would lean with where I made the most memories with my dad, not a course he didn't play.
Yeah, put me down at Eastmoreland.
What hole? This is an interesting question.
That is a great question. I hadn't thought about that.
Am I feeding you to the carp?
No, I don't want to be in the
17?
water. I don't want to be in the water.
Okay.
17 is a great hole. It's one of the best holes in the city of
Did you
Portland.
make an eagle on a par 5, or did you?
I have. I've eagled 11 a ton. Never eagled 13 before.
I know you love Eastmo. It also has some very forgettable holes.
Without a doubt.
Standard straightaway.
Without a doubt, for
you know.
sure. I don't know if I'd go anything on the front. Definitely not 7. 7's a
Nothing
absolute
on the
bear.
front?
I think I would go 17. I think I'd go 17.
Where? By the creek?
No.
Because that's not, nobody's going by the creek.
No, it's the one where you hit over the water.
Yeah. But
I
there's
would
the
go
creek down the hill.
I'd go somewhere around the tee box. Spread me around the tee box.
So that's just going to be your ashes, not actual sand in the tee box?
That's me, baby. Go make a birdie. Make me proud, Sprague.
My mom weirdly had a request on this because she's making me the executor of her will. And I'm like, Mom, you live in a mobile home and have no money. I don't think you need an executor for this. We're throwing away all this crap. Okay? She goes, well, Brandon, would you just listen to my request?
Can you drive the mobile home out of there? Do you not want the mobile home?
Oh.
No.
No, it
Does
needs
she own
new
it?
flooring.
Yeah.
No,
She's okay.
She pays for it.
Okay.
Anyways. And devastating for me to say, Mom, you are broke.
Yeah,
I don't need to be executor. You want me to divide the $35 you're going to leave us? Let me divide that evenly by 4. Okay, I'll get on that. Anyways, she's like, gonna have ashes. And I go, where do you want me to spread you? In the ocean? Like, what do you want? She goes, no, God, no. terrified of the ocean.
Get me out of there.
You're dead.
Yeah, I don't think
She goes, I really want you to put me on a hiking trail near Mount Rainier. And I go, you don't hike. She goes, it makes me feel more safe to know I'm up in the woods than out in the ocean. You don't hike. You're dead.
It'd be one thing if
What
you were
does this
hiking.
matter?
Like, I get the point of I'm a hiker, spread me on a hiking
She
trail.
doesn't hike. Dude,
That'd be like me saying spread me in Timberline. You don't ski or snowboard. Nah, but I like the movie.
God bless my mom. This is my mom after we walk a mile.
We almost done. Sounds like me.
I'm like, Mom, we've walked a half mile.
When's the downhill part coming in?
It's flat. We're walking flat. It's flat. Hiking trail. Guess who has to hike? Me. I'm going to have to use what you've given me financially with this $35 for a parking fee.
That's fantastic.
Passing it down, man. One generation after another.
Just promise me if I do die and you're still working in radio and you get a press pass, go spread me a little bit on Autzen. I want to be a little bit on the field. Just a little bit. Just a little dusting. Put some in your pocket.
You want me to spread you?
Put some in your
Autzen?
pocket. Make it look like a little cocaine baggie.
Can I put you at the back end outside of the stadium, like against the wall?
No, dude, no.
You want to be
That's a no
on
count.
the
I don't want to be
field?
outside. I want to be able to watch the games. Put me on the field.
How am I supposed to do this? I have to touch your ashes.
You just have a little
No,
baggie.
you gotta go like Shawshank when they took all the
the rock.
Yeah.
cut some pockets
Thank
out.
you, Swag. And
There
you're
you
just
go.
walking, lifting them up step by step. Or little baggie, you're tying your shoes. Bending over, tie your shoes.
Do you have any request of where?
I don't care where on the field, as long as it's on the field.
Well, but like, would you think being in the end zone or the 50 or like the Oregon sidelines, the tunnel area, what would be the coolest thing?
Preferably, either end zone would be fine. In an end zone. I want somebody to score a touchdown on me.
Okay. You're not really being specific. There's got to be a side of the end zone that's more memorable for you.
I don't think there is. They go both ways on each field.
Ah, okay.
You go
I
back
know,
and
but like, when did they
forth.
score a key touchdown is my point.
They've scored a lot of touchdowns.
Was there a memorable touchdown on one side or the other?
No, I don't think that. Well, no, not
What was
really.
the cat's name that won against Washington in double overtime?
Verdell? Yeah.
Verdell. Where did Verdell score?
That was opposite of the tunnel that they run in. So it was over there. So you could.
That was a cool game.
You could do that one. That's cool.
That was payback for the 70-0 game.
Although it was Mario, so we kind of forget it. Anyways, more mail sacks to come. We'll get to the rest of your questions next on The Fan.
105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
First on the Fan, the U.S. Solheim Cup team now complete after the 3 captains' picks were named. Lindy Duncan, Megan Kang, and Rose Zhang will join those that qualified in 2.5 weeks in the Netherlands as the U.S. looks to go back-to-back after winning 2 years ago.
Megan Kang and Rose Zhang?
Yes.
Dope. I love that. How about this one for a terrifying high school football player?
Uh-oh.
A kid in Arkansas was playing in practice for over an hour. He took a water break. When he took off his helmet, he discovered there was a 2-foot-long cottonmouth snake found under the padding of his helmet that had stayed hidden hugely venomous snake.
Yeah,
we talked about this when you were out.
When you were on vacation.
We didn't know how offensive it would be to play snake jokes on you. Like, would you get legitimately pissed if I stuck like a funny snake in your bag?
Like a real one?
Not a real one. Like a fake snake.
I wouldn't get pissed. No, but I would back away in utter fear.
Okay.
We had, real quick.
Yeah.
We just found 10 Gartner snakes by our yard. We'd never seen them before by our neighbor.
Yeah.
They're doing construction. Pretty sure that's a snake nest. They were dropping out of our fence that lines with our neighbors. I vowed to catch them and release them, put a glove on, grab the tail. As soon as it moved, my wife recorded me. I went, ah!
Where is this video?
I'm not going to
We need the evidence. I need
no.
that.
I'll show you a still image, and it's me.
More than the Jed York police body cam. We need the snake
I mean, he
video.
did it on a golf course years ago, and I remember thinking, it's just a little, it's like
no, those
6
are
inches
huge,
long, dude. It's like it's a glorified worm.
No.
Burrowing in the dirt.
How do they move? It doesn't make any sense.
Not that this was a surprise at all, but it was made official yesterday. Who doesn't love watching an ex-lover? Aiden Childs will officially be the starting quarterback at Northwestern. That was one of the quarterback notes that was dropped, and him and Chip Kelly are going to team up in a weird multiverse of Duck and Beaver fans.
Oh boy, there is your update at the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk. Don't call your mom, call George McCoy at warrenallen.com.
This is the The Fan.
All right, welcome back in 9:30 on your Tuesday morning. Thanks for being with us, everybody. Dirt and Sprague here, 105.1 The Fan. The firm of Patrick Harris is coming up at the top of the hour. We will close our show today with some fun with audio. We have not gotten to one bit of audio out of the college football world, and Jameis Winston's done it again.
Well, it's football season.
It is. It's football, baby. Can't wait to wake up Saturday and watch football. Let's get some more mail sack questions in, shall we? Mail sack question. If you guys aren't able to play copyrighted music, how are you able to play Come and Get Your Love at the end of the show? It is not, I'll just answer that one.
Yeah.
It's not a radio thing. It's a YouTube thing.
Yeah.
And so people complain about YouTube, the stream getting cut off early.
That's a big complaint for our show. They really hate you for that, actually.
We have tried to respond to everybody that has asked why that is the reason why, because we don't want to change that song as the close song, and so we end the you miss me saying thanks for listening to the show.
I have to
Tune
do
in
a
tomorrow
little
at 6
dance
o'clock.
in here depending on what we want to play. And
Well, I miss our open song, too.
We still play the open song.
Oh, you're right. We do.
We play the open song. I just
shows how much I pay attention to
I bring it down very quickly.
It's all right. You played an audio clip earlier, and I thought they were talking about a different quarterback. It happens to the best of us. Mail sack question. Would you rather know all the languages in the world?
Oh, that'd be cool.
Or be able to talk to animals, and why?
I want
Every
to talk
language
to animals.
or Dr. Doolittle?
Every language in the world.
Dr. Doolittle.
I go Dr. Doolittle, too.
Yeah, I want to save the world.
Now, for the traveling purposes, I certainly understand.
I can go
anywhere and fit in anywhere and communicate with anybody would be an incredible thing. To have one conversation with my dog.
The dog, huh?
Yeah, that's where I would go.
I'd want to ask a lot of wild animals, like, hey, what do you guys need us to do?
Hey, what help?
What's hurting us right now?
Help me help you.
The water's... It's sinking, man. We have no water.
I talk to those coyotes that get introduced to my neighborhood and say, if you kill the skunks, I'll throw you a ribeye once a week.
Who would be the most annoying animal to talk to, probably? Probably a bird, right? Just doesn't
Squirrel.
shut up the whole time.
Squirrels, yeah. Nuts. Give me my nuts. I need my nuts.
Well, yeah, you certainly have your stupid animals you talk to.
There's a lot of bird brains out there, man.
You know, like, hey, hummingbird. Hey, man. See you later. Just a crackhead locally in the neighborhood.
When you're
Just looking for that hit. You got that hit? Where's the flowers at?
When your brain's the size of a cashew, there's not a lot being retained there.
The woodpecker just going away on a tree in your neighborhood.
Oh, it's fantastic. Mailsack, youth sport you would refuse or question your kid picking. I wouldn't refuse any of them. That's bad parenting. Question?
I'm grateful that I didn't have kids to play baseball. And I have two egregious youth sport things.
I get the argument. I understand it.
Okay, I'm going to throw this at you, let you noodle.
Travel ball's out of control.
Yeah.
It's out of control.
And everybody that says, well, I'm not really going to do it like that. It's like, no, once you get in it.
No, that's how the system works.
So one kid I know of had to play a tournament this past weekend in Seattle after they went on vacation. Got back, instantly drove to Seattle. There was a stipulation that if they would have won their game Sunday, they had to play Monday at 11.
How's that possible?
Which means
that should be illegal.
They would have had to have got another night at a hotel for over $200.
That's illegal. That should be illegal. Lock them up. Lock them up now.
Yes. And then I just found out yesterday that somebody I know, their kid is doing fall baseball and flag football.
Oh, God.
And flag football. So it's baseball Monday, flag Tuesday, baseball Wednesday, flag Thursday.
But don't they both have games on the weekends?
Fall ball, baseball doesn't do as many games.
Yeah.
Flag is on Saturday.
I did 1 year of fall ball. It sucked.
The football practice, and this is an elementary school kid, 7 to 9 p.m.
That should be illegal.
And
that should be illegal.
We're all thinking and feeling the same way largely about this, and I don't know why we're not
getting home. Practice is over at 9 o'clock at night.
Just coming home
for an elementary
taking
school
a
age
shower,
kid.
Kid's hungry. He's going to want a little something.
You're not going to bed till after 10 o'clock.
Now it's 10 o'clock. If they have any,
that is inexcusable, dude.
It's egregious.
What are we doing here?
Hopefully, there's time after they get home from school if there's any homework, and I don't think there's a lot of homework at elementary school anymore.
Yeah.
So.
My wife was asking the soccer one, is like, wouldn't you do it if you thought your kid could get a scholarship? And I go, no. I did local basketball tournaments like Lake Oswego, Beaverton, Clackamas. That was all I was willing. I'm not doing fly to California, fly to Tucson. Dude, don't get caught in that trap. That's your vacation. You want your vacation to be weekend getaway at fill-in-the-blank crap town?
For the next 7 years.
And some people just will always do it. They'll always say yes. They'll keep my kid. Dude, stop with the parent guilt. You did it as a kid. You had your season, and then you had your off time.
And then you were done. You were fine. It was okay to be bored from time to time, too, as a kid.
Burnout's real, man.
You find a way to keep yourself entertained. Yeah, there's a balance. There's nothing that I would refuse. There's certainly some that I would not be like. I mentioned this a couple weeks ago. Like, if Teddy Ballgame becomes a swimmer and you're sitting in in an indoor pool for 6 hours waiting for 5 minutes worth of events.
Oh, that's like a track tournament. You find out when they're going. You just kind of walk away.
The rest of them, I understand all of your concerns and fears, and they are very real because I don't know if baseball will be a part of our future or not, but if it is, I'm already kind of dreading what that lifestyle's going to be like. What are you doing this weekend?
Because where are you going to draw the line?
Driving to Chehalis,
that might be what it is, and that's different. That's at least somewhat regional.
Right.
If Teddy Ballgame is in baseball and he's good, and then hey, this team is inviting him in, and that turns into, we have tournaments down in Reading.
Right. How far are you willing to go?
We have a tournament in Nevada.
Yeah.
When do you say no?
Yeah, I'm following my nieces and nephews because they're obviously a little bit older and all into sports, and their calendars never stop. It's never ends. The furthest they've driven, they've had 1 or 2 lacrosse tournaments in Bend that they've done.
Yeah, that's normal.
And that's normal.
Usually tournaments, Bend is like a hub for
in the
spring,
state tournaments, whatever. You go out and play kind of at the end of the year. My nephew's had some soccer, he had one kind of up at a thing near the mountain, but not fully on the mountain. So you're a little over an hour, an hour, give or take, to get up there. Those are about the furthest that they've traveled for events. There has to be a line. There has to be a perimeter of how far you're willing to go and how much money you're willing to spend because the entire thing's out of control.
We probably did 5 straight seasons of basketball with my oldest, and my youngest has gotten into basketball. And so I was coaching. It's one season went in, it's right into the next season. And I kind of I took the stance of my kid wanted the time off. And my kid's not going to the WNBA, and not a D1 basketball player by any stretch, but I hope she plays in high school, and just because I like kids to be a part of teams. I think it's really important to learn how to be on a team.
Learn friendships, how to get along,
Absolutely.
work together, all of the values that come with it.
Yeah, I love the values that sports teach, but we took the summer off, and I haven't batted an eye, dude. I had real burnout from coaching it. I think anybody tells you they never burn out in coaching is either a terrible coach or lying to themselves. I had burnout. I think my kid had burnout, and it
was
been
a grind. You take a break, and now all of a sudden maybe there's that appetite again. We go back to our childhoods, I think, when we have this conversation of like, I was always, my entire life, even through high school, I was, until like the reality of I'm never going to play that sport again kind of hit me. I couldn't wait for the season to be over. To a certain extent in every single one, because I was excited for the next one. You're like, I'm kind of ready for that sport to start.
Yeah.
And then you get to the end of like summer ball and baseball, and you're like, dude, if I got to put on this catcher's gear one more time, I'm never going to play baseball again. But football would start, you'd be excited, and then you get to the end of football season, you'd be like, all right, I'm kind of worn out now. We haven't won a game. Let's go do it. Like you just move on to the next one. So, yeah, the burnout thing is definitely real. I wouldn't refuse anything, but there's certainly some I wouldn't be super excited about. Two more quick ones. Mail sack question: have you ever found yourself at a store or other public place, and from a distance you see somebody you know who you don't necessarily dislike, but you're just not in the mood to give them a big chat right now? How extreme are the lengths that you would go to avoid having to talk to them?
So they haven't seen me, I've seen them.
No, it's basically like you see somebody, and if you run into them, you know it's going to be a conversation, and you're like, I don't want to do that right now.
Well, you have to just be able to rip the cord without feeling guilty. This goes back to parent guilt. It's the same thing. You can't have social guilt. So you can say hi, exchange pleasantries, but if they start morphing into a super long conversation, like, dude, this sounds great. Let's catch up soon. I have to actually go. I just got to pop in real quick.
Just grabbing two things and going.
Trying to get out of here, but it's good to see you again. You just have to do that. You can't feel guilty about it.
There are people that I would try to avoid if I see them, but not because I dislike them, just of like, I don't want to have that cup. What have you been up to? Well, I hate that conversation.
Sometimes there's nothing, so it's just like not much, man.
I'm working.
You still at the...
You still doing the thing? You
still at the 1080 fan?
You still doing the radio thing? Yeah.
That a career?
Now, do you have a podcast that I can listen to?
I know this kid. He loves sports. Could he come in and just watch you?
I love that idea of you're not going to... You don't need to appease me by asking, where can you find my podcast? I know you're not going to go listen to the show. It's okay.
My mom asked me this and goes, hey...
Where can I find it?
When we came back from San Diego, she goes, did you work today? And I was like, did you listen to the show? She starts laughing. You know when I'm working.
You can consume
exactly.
It. Yeah.
Everybody else can skip work and nobody else knows.
Any day that I call out sick, I will get like 5 text messages of like, Dirt, you all right? And it's like, yeah, dude, I'm okay.
But that's how people know.
But that's how I'm not. Hey, you're not at work. What's going on there? Why aren't you there? Last one, Millsack. One thing I wish we take from the World Cup is that when it was here, we said the game or match started at 12. It actually kicked off right at 12. Do you think America is too obsessed with pregame shows as opposed to getting things started on time? Yes, amen.
My team lost our first English Premier League match this past weekend. Leeds got us late with a goal. It's the best thing about watching soccer, and I know you won't jump on, but dude, it's 7 a.m. start, 6 a.m. start. We're starting there.
They're going.
There's nothing else.
90-ish minutes, you're done.
Dude, wham, bam, thank you, ma'am.
See you later next weekend. Absolutely, we have we lie about kick times and tip times and all that, and that should also be illegal. Thank you for the Sparta TRT Mail Sack every Tuesday at 9 o'clock, and we love the segment. We will look forward to it. Brought to you by Sparta TRT. Whether you're hitting the gym just trying to survive the workday, don't just watch from the sidelines. Reclaim your edge and win at the second half of life. SpartaTRT.com. Let's close up with some fun with audio, and also, hey, maybe we were right. Next on The Fan. All righty. Last one for us today on a Tuesday. It has been a fun, busy show. I wanted to read off some advice to Jason T. Swigard on turning the age of 55 from the fan text line that we got over the last couple of segments. Somebody said, not a senior discount, but Costco sells caskets online, so might as well grab that cash, get the cash back on it.
You got to be buried or burned?
No. I will.
You want to be cremated?
Yeah.
Do you want to be spread anywhere in particular?
Where do you want us to spread you?
Where do you want me to spread you?
I don't know.
You haven't decided? Yeah, no thoughts?
Is there anywhere that, like...
A vacation spot, a golf
Lake
course, Dodger Stadium. You go Dodger Stadium and
put
walk
you in
around
a
the field?
joint and smoke you?
Dude, I honestly thought about this.
Have you seen how high? That's how they pass Harvard.
That is true. Maybe
they just
we'd be
smoke dead presidents and they get help on tests. It's a great movie.
I think if I smoked Sprague, I'd get smarter. I feel like that.
No. Or you'd get things wrong, but you'd confidently say it. It'd be a real combination. He'd actually know the answer, then he'd tell you the answer, be wrong. Like, yeah, an Oracle moment. Got super high on Jason there.
Somebody said there's a dispensary in McMinnville that gives a 55 and older discount. So if you're down in the McMinnville area looking for some, for some weed, the Fred Meyer discount is only on Kroger products and Fred Meyer products. Somebody said.
Okay.
God. I don't buy that crap.
What else do we got here? I'm just scrolling through. Killer Burger rewards members with a free milkshake tomorrow. Oh, that's a milkshake text. Sorry, never mind. Ace Hardware in Sun River has a senior discount on the first Friday of every month.
All right.
So if you're visiting the kiddo and you want to go to Ace Hardware, who doesn't love Ace Hardware? This one did make me laugh out loud. If my dad wants his ashes spread when he passes, I know exactly where it's going. At 15 on Chambers Bay, he took a 17 after being stuck in the bunker and took 14 swings.
Dude, a 17 is...
Ouch.
That's... How do you take 14 swings to get out of the bunker?
That's tough.
I think after 4, I'm putting my way out. You know what I mean? I'm just hitting that ball as hard as I can.
If I'm playing... Yeah, I mean, I'm assuming it was a tournament if you're up at Chambers Bay. Maybe
you just went up there
Maybe
to
you just went
play.
up to play. If it's not a tournament setting and I take more than 3 shots to get out of a bunker...
Yeah.
Like you swing, back at you.
You're throwing it out.
Swing, back at you. Swing.
So you're playing with your friends. You guys are legitimately picking the ball out of the bunker
After
if it
3,
takes more than 3 swings?
After 3, yeah.
Yeah, you're just...
Are you just taking a snowman on the hole and moving on in general?
Yeah, probably. Or give me a 10, double the
10.
par. I don't care.
Yeah.
Either way, I'm not doing that anymore. I'm not carding a 17. I'm not doing it.
Okay.
The fourth one is either getting picked up and thrown on the green or it's getting bladed so far over the green that it's going out of bounds. And either way, it's the same thing. Because usually if you chunk a couple and leave them in the bunker, they're just going to be right there.
What is the age we get you to finally dabble once?
You talking to me?
Oh, I'm talking to you.
You talking to me?
Talking to you?
Talking to me?
I don't know. It's probably more about situation than age.
You just got to find the right spot. Get him an Uber.
Day,
get him an Uber. We got to pick a good sporting event for him. I don't know what would be best for his fandom. But like a Stanley Cup final game on a sunny afternoon and Swag's high as a kite.
Hits.
I mean, it just, he's going to be locked in, dude.
His eyes are going to get so bloodshot when he does a gummy.
Swag, you even said a word in 25 minutes, man. Are you okay over there? You need any water? Talk about paranoid. It just means more down in the South.
Any bowl game playoff system, obviously, you're going to up security. I'm not sure that there was a hiring process of here we go with the FBI. I do think we probably have a current player whose dad just so happens to work for the FBI that lives in town, that from that standpoint, there was no measure to go, oh my gosh, here come in from that standpoint. But no, obviously, anytime you get in that playoff system and you had guys from this building go to other places, you want to make sure it's secure for your players. Nothing from our standpoint, but the video access and everything else and all those things that you're doing regardless where you're at. I mean, that's no different when, in the semis and the quarters, regardless where you're at, for the hotels that you're staying in. Like, you've got to up the security. People are in and out, and you're sweeping trash cans. I mean, that's been done for the history of ball. So, no, there was no hiring process of, hey, let's get the FBI in here. Holy cow, let's start looking around. No, it wasn't anything like that.
Pete Golding responding to allegations that when Lane Kiffin left, they had the FBI come into their football facility and sweep the building for bugs because Lane Kiffin was trying to spy on him.
Paranoid line 2.
Love it. And then how about this? He's the gift that keeps on giving. Talk about a future in broadcasting. He certainly has one. It was on display at the World Cup. Here is Jameis Winston in his pregame speech to the Giants.
I'm going to show y'all right now that you don't got to have a hype man to go out there and do your best and dominate. I don't got to go out there and scream to the top of my lungs for you to know it's a privilege to come out here, wear this blue, and go out there and take care of you and your family. All right? We in Miami, the stars out here, the sun going to be out. So we might as well take this little light of mine and let it shine. We might as well take this little light of mine and let it shine. Take advantage of the opportunity today. Let's go out there and dominate. All right? Dominate on 3. 1, 2, 3, dominate.
This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine.
This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. It'd be funny if they all just busted it out.
That needs to happen. If you're gonna give that as a pregame speech,
I tell you, that makes me feel good. Get ready for a football game.
I will let my life.